Shen Wanchen asked with some surprise, Master Lin, were you just on the phone with Chairman Zhao Shanggulan? It sounded like his voice. Lin Tian nodded. Chairman Zhao's voice is a bit loud, I overheard him. Why wouldn't you treat someone offering 30 million in consultation fees? Shen Wanchen was puzzled. That's 30 million. That's enough to burn as firewood for a long time, enough to buy and then lose a supercar. Lin Tian coughed lightly. Third Master Shen, I need to explain to you, I can treat you, but I don't have a medical license. If I urgently needed money like that, I would help. But I don't need the money right now, I won't try to earn that 30 million. Shen Wanchen was stunned. I see, without a medical license, trying to earn that kind of money, especially such a large sum, could easily lead to ruin. Master Lin, without a medical license, it's indeed best not to earn this kind of money. You have a very promising future. Old Master Shen nodded. Lin Tian smiled. Actually, it's because I don't want a medical license. Without it, I can confidently refuse others. Third Master Shen, do you still want treatment? Shen Wanchen nodded repeatedly. Yes, of course. But Master Lin, I'll still give you a reward later. Lie down. Shen Wanchen lay down on the sofa. Lin Tian pretended to go to the room to fetch silver needles, but actually took them from his system space. In less than half a minute, more than a dozen silver needles were placed on Shen Wanchen's body. Lin Tian gently pinched each silver needle, and wisps of internal energy flowed into Shen Wanchen's body, gradually clearing some blocked meridians. It was these blocked meridians that were affecting Shen Wanchen. With the meridians cleared and some medicine to regulate his body, Shen Wanchen's problem would be solved, and he would definitely have no problem having children in the future. All right. Lin Tian quickly put away the silver needles. Third Master Shen, you can choose to take the medicine or not. Taking it will take a week to recover, not taking it will take 2 or 3 months. Yes, I'll take it. Shen Wanchen hurriedly replied. He was already in his 40s, and his wife was 35, the sooner they had a child, the safer it would be for her. Beep, beep. Just then, a car horn sounded. A car had arrived outside the villa. Lin Tian frowned slightly. Shen Wanchen quickly said, it's not one of ours. We had the driver park in the public parking area. He doesn't even know which villa you're in. Lin Tian nodded slightly. He thought of Zhao Shanggulan's phone call earlier. The other party might know that Zhao Shanggulan had given him the villa. The property management has records. If the other party wanted to check, it wouldn't be difficult to find out that the villa had changed owners and that he had come today. Old Master Shen, Third Master Shen, it seems I have an uninvited guest. They probably don't know my online identity. Lin Tian said in a deep voice. Elder Shen, Master Lin, let's go upstairs to take shelter for a while. If you need our help, we'll come downstairs to assist you. All right. Lin Tian nodded. Elder Shen and Shen Wanchen went upstairs. The doorbell rang quickly. Lin Tian opened the door. Standing outside were 2 people. A woman, a somewhat overweight middle-aged man, and what appeared to be a bodyguard. Dr. Lin, please forgive our intrusion, the woman said. Lin Tian nodded slightly. Come in and talk. If the other party's attitude was very sincere, he might still treat them. If their attitude was bad, no amount of money would save him. Xiao Wu, wait for us in the car. The woman instructed, and she and the middle-aged man went into the villa. The middle-aged man said in a deep voice, Lin Tian, my name is Luo Wei, this is my wife Guo Sholi, our Luo family's assets. Exceed 10 billion. Lin Tian raised an eyebrow. Guo Sholi addressed him as, Dr. Lin, while Luo Wei addressed him by his name directly. What brings you here? Lin Tian asked calmly. Luo Wei frowned. Lin Tian, I contacted you through Chairman Zhao, wanting you to treat my wife's illness. You refused our offer of 30 million, do you think it's too little? As far as I know, Chairman Zhao initially gave you 5 million in consultation fees. There must have been other agreements regarding the villa and car later, right? Lin Tian said calmly, whether there were other agreements or not is unimportant. Chairman Zhao's case isn't really an illness, which I can handle. I can't treat others. Luo Wei said sternly, Lin Tian, that's a bit dishonest. I found out you've cured quite a few children at the orphanage. Guo Sholi said, Dr. Lin, your villa is worth over 100 million, but it's not cash. Wouldn't it be better to earn this 30 million comfortably? If you think 30 million isn't enough, we're willing to offer 50 million. Lin Tian's eyes narrowed slightly. Something's fishy here. The Luo family's assets are worth billions, but 50 million in cash isn't something they can just casually come up with. Guo Shouli actually raised the price to 50 million. Lin Tian, as long as you cure my wife, money is no problem. If you agree, 50 million can be transferred to you quickly. With money, you'll have more confidence being with Luo Bingning. Luo Wei said. A warning bell rang in Lin Tian's mind. Luo Wei also knew Luo Bingning's identity, so their willingness to give 50 million was questionable. Could this be a trap? If he accepts 50 million in consultation fees, Luo Wei and his group could sue him for practicing medicine illegally and charging exorbitant fees, which would be a serious problem for him. Chairman Luo, I'm not a doctor. You've come to the wrong person for treatment. As I just said, Chairman Zhao's problem isn't an illness, it's something else, which I happen to be able to handle. As for the children in the orphanage, I only tried some folk methods, their recovery might be a blessing in disguise. 30 to 50 million is tempting, but I don't have the ability to earn that. You should find someone else. Lin Tian shook his head. Guo Shouli sighed. In that case, it seems this is my fate, a calamity destined for me. Husband, let's go. Lin Tian, think it over carefully. Luo Wei stood up. They left quickly, and Lin Tian closed the door. Luo Wei and the others got into the car. Wife, why are we going back so soon? Guo Shouli frowned. Lin Tian seems a bit wary. Trying to trap him won't be so easy. Luo Wei sighed. It's a pity. If he takes the money, we'll have leverage over him. If we don't want to go to court or jail, if we don't want to break up with Luo Bingning, he'll have to listen to us from now on. Guo Shouli said, let's wait for another opportunity. As long as he needs money, he might think of us. The car drove away. A cold glint flashed in Lin Tian's eyes. Luo Wei and his group thought the car was soundproof and they wouldn't be heard talking inside, but he was a grand master of martial arts. He had heard their conversation clearly. That bastard, trying to control me for profit. Lin Tian cursed inwardly. If he were even a little greedy, he would definitely fall into a trap. Regardless of the effectiveness of his treatment, Guo Shouli was definitely going to be in trouble. He was practicing medicine without a license and had collected tens of millions in consultation fees. If this matter blew up, not to mention whether he would go to jail, what would the Luo family think? Master Lin, what's going on? Elder Shen and Shen Wanchen came downstairs, and Shen Wanchen asked. They hadn't been eavesdropping in the room upstairs, Lin Tian briefly explained. The situation. Elder Shen frowned and said, it seems Luo Wei as a leopard can't change its spots. He used to be involved in organized crime, but gradually cleaned up his act. I never expected he'd try to use his methods on you, Master Lin. Master Lin, why don't you get a medical license? We can help you find a way if you need it. Shen Wanchen said. With the Shen family's influence, it wouldn't be difficult to help Lin Tian obtain a medical license. The Shen family also has strong connections in the medical industry. Lin Tian frowned. This situation was a bit of a dilemma. If he didn't obtain a medical license and problems arose, it would be difficult to explain. If things escalated and he ended up in court, he would definitely be in the wrong since he had taken money. Having obtained a medical license, nothing stays hidden forever. Soon, many people will know of his exceptional medical skills. Will he treat patients who come to him? How much will he charge? Even if he charges 100 yuan per person, he'll probably be relentlessly criticized and accused of being unethical and making money through dishonest means. He'll work himself to the bone every day, only to be criticized and risk being extorted. Is he just wasting his time? Let's not get the license for now. I'll reduce the number of patients I treat. Unless they are extremely trustworthy, I won't treat ordinary people even if they offer money. Lin Tian considered for a while before speaking. Shen Wanchen sighed softly, even having such high medical skills brings these troubles. Luckily, I only have the trouble of having too much money. Lin Tian, old Shen glared at Shen Wanchen. In that case, I'll help you alleviate your troubles later. You won't have to divide the inheritance anymore. Shen Wanchen said awkwardly, Dad, I was just joking. I was just trying to lighten the mood since the atmosphere was so heavy. Master Lin, shall we help you vent your anger against the Luo family? Lin Tian shook his head. Although the Shen family is strong, the Luo family is no simple matter either. A business confrontation will inevitably result in some losses. If you help me, my identity will be exposed. I hope to keep my identity as the masked man a secret for as long as possible. Old Shen and Shen Wanchen nodded. Wanchen, take this to Master Lin. Old Shen instructed. Shen Wanchen brought a bag. He took out a contract from the bag. Master Lin, I own 3% of the shares in the Shen Group. I am transferring 1/5 of my shares to you. This is the share transfer agreement. Shen Wanchen said. Stop. Lin Tian quickly said, I saw a comment saying the Shen Group's total assets should be 200 billion. 3% is 6 billion, and 1/5 of that is 1.2 billion. Shen Wanchen smiled. There are some things about the Shen Group that outsiders don't know. Its total value should be around 300 billion. My 3% is worth 9 billion. Lin Tian shook his head. Then I definitely can't accept it. I trust you, but I can't take advantage of you. Shen Wanchen said incredulously. Master Lin, you really won't accept it. These shares are worth about 1.8 billion. No. Lin Tian said decisively. Given Elder Shen's character, accepting these shares wouldn't have any negative consequences, but he wasn't short of money right now. Old Master Shen, Third Master Shen, as you know, I'm not short of money these days. Please keep this. I mainly came here to repay your favors. Signing this agreement puts me in even greater debt to the Shen family. Debts of gratitude are hard to repay, and Lin Tian didn't want to incur them lightly. Shen Wanchen looked at Old Master Shen. Old Master Shen sighed softly. Wanchen, please keep it. Master Lin, we came in a hurry and didn't prepare any other gifts. Really? It's unnecessary. Lin Tian shook his head. Old Master Shen, would you like to hear the Erhu? I didn't bring the Gukan, but I did bring the Erhu back to the villa. Old Master Shen and Shen Wanchen's eyes lit up. Master Lin, is that all right? Old Master Shen asked expectantly. He came specifically to hear it live. Lin Tian smiled, of course. Since the top 2 members of the fan club are here, it's only right that I play a piece for you. There was a relatively large music room on the 3rd floor. A Steinway grand piano stood in the room. This single piano alone would cost over 1 million. Lin Tian and his group went to the music room on the 3rd floor. The room was quite large, it could easily host a small dance party. Master Lin, you can play the piano. Shen Wanchen asked. Lin Tian shook his head. I can't play the piano. Zhao Shonglin bought it, and when I asked him to move it, he said he couldn't play either. An Erhu was playing in the room. Lin Tian quickly began to play, displaying top-tier mastery. Elder Shen and Shen Wanchen were immediately captivated. When the piece ended, they remained silent for a long time. They were still immersed in the atmosphere created by the music. 5 minutes passed before Elder Shen and Shen Wanchen finally came to their senses. They both stared at Lin Tian in disbelief. Master Lin, the live performance seems much better than listening to your live stream. Did you hide something during your live stream? Elder Shen asked suspiciously. Lin Tian smiled slightly. I did hold back a little during the live stream, but my Erhu skills are at the top-tier Grandmaster level. The level you showed in the live stream is sufficient. Old Shen and Shen Wanchen were stunned. Lin Tian's Erhu skills had already reached the top-tier Grandmaster level. He's so young. He's very likely to become a Grandmaster in the future. Lin Tian quickly played another piece. After listening to 2 pieces, Old Shen and the others left satisfied. Lin Tian didn't play any more, and they didn't ask for more. Being able to hear 2 pieces live was already quite good. Luo Wei. A cold glint flashed in Lin Tian's eyes. He went to the study, which naturally contained a computer with very high specifications. Lin Tian quickly hacked into Luo Hui's phone. Luo Wei started his career in the underworld and his past isn't clean either. He's ruthless and has done many shady things in secret. After investigating Luo Wei, Lin Tian started investigating Guo Shouli. A strange look appeared on his face. Guo Shouli was secretly having affairs with several young men behind Luo Hui's back, and she had even filmed numerous intimate videos of them. Tisk tisk, playing around is one thing, but having such a fetish. You want to mess with me? Then don't blame me for being impolite. Lin Tian muttered to himself. He was a grandmaster of martial arts, capable of killing without leaving a trace, but killing Luo Wei and his group wasn't necessary. He'd never even killed a chicken, why would he kill someone so easily? But that didn't mean he'd let it go. Luo Wei and his gang had tried to frame him, and he was determined to get revenge. Honey, I'm going to take a nap, Guo Shouli said, closing her eyes to rest. They were heading to the airport to catch a flight to another city. Okay, my phone's almost dead, can I use yours? Okay. Luo Wei picked up Guo Shouli's phone. Guo Shouli wasn't worried at all. She'd hidden those intimate videos, a password was required to view the hidden files, and she always cleared the background apps after watching them. Luo Hui's using Guo Shouli's phone, well, I'll give you a surprise. Lin Tian thought to himself, opening the folder in the background, then he quickly left some search history in his browser. How to get a larger share of the assets in a divorce? How? Many sleeping pills can be fatal. What to do if you suspect your son isn't your biological child? Soon after, Luo Wei opened his phone's browser, he wanted to look something up. Luo Hui's face darkened. He saw the browsing history, and several of the entries were extremely hurtful. Luo Wei glanced at Guo Shouli beside him. He didn't wake Guo Shouli but instead began to investigate carefully. He quickly opened the phone's background apps. Many apps hadn't been cleared from the background. What's this? Luo Wei clicked on the folder Lin Tian wanted him to see. The folder contained several subfolders. These subfolders were all named after people. Luo Wei took a deep breath and clicked into one of the folders. Immediately, videos appeared inside. There were over a dozen videos in this folder. The oldest video was from a year ago, the newest from last week. Luo Wei silenced his phone and played the latest video. Seeing the video's content, he gritted his teeth. 5 minutes later, Luo Wei checked the other folders. The male protagonist in each folder was different. The female protagonist was, of course, his wife, Guo Shouli. Stop the car, Luo Wei said in a deep voice. The driver and bodyguard pulled over. Luo Wei said, Xiao Wu, you get out first. I have something to discuss with Shouli. Yes, boss. The driver got out and walked a short distance away. Honey, what's wrong? Guo Shouli groggily opened her eyes. She was quite sleepy and had almost fallen asleep when the car stopped. Slap. Luo Wei slapped Guo Shouli hard across the face. Guo Shouli, I've treated you well, and this is how you repay me. Luo Wei roared, throwing his phone at Guo Shouli. Guo Shouli was stunned. She remembered checking and clearing the background apps last time. How could the folder have been found? Besides, the folder required a password, not fingerprint access. Husband, Guo Shouli wanted to explain, but she was speechless. Faced with those videos, any words were futile. At this moment, how Luo Wei found the folder and how he opened it was irrelevant. Go back and we're getting a divorce. You'll leave with nothing, Luo Wei said coldly. Guo Shouli instantly flared up. Luo Wei, don't go too far. We've worked together for so many years, our family has billions in assets, and you want me to leave with nothing. You wish. A cruel smile appeared on Luo Hui's face. Is that so? You may have forgotten how I built my fortune. If you don't behave, I'll buy you a high-value insurance policy when we get back. Luo Wei sneered. Guo Shouli's face turned pale. Buying her a high-value insurance policy, who knew when she might die under mysterious circumstances. Luo Wei could then receive her death compensation. Husband, we were husband and wife after all. Give me 100 million, and I'll obediently divorce you for just 100 million, how about that? Guo Shouli said, her voice trembling. With 100 million, she could live a carefree life. Luo Wei sneered, a slut like you think I'll give you 100 million. You have a few million in your account, take those few million and get as far away from me as possible. You've given your family quite a bit over the years. If you don't know what's good for you, your parents will have to obediently return it. Otherwise, HMPH. Guo Shouli was terrified. She knew how ruthless Luo Wei was. If she didn't obey, her parents would be in trouble. Fine, we'll get a divorce when we get back. I'll leave with nothing, Guo Shouli said, her voice trembling. Luo Wei said coldly, I'll have a paternity test done when I get back. The son is definitely yours, Guo Shouli quickly replied. Thinking of the search history he had just seen, Luo Wei sneered, is that so? How about we make a bet? If it's me, I'll give you an extra 50 million. If not, you go back and have your parents sell the house, and your family will pay me 30 million in return. Guo Shouli's face flushed red and then paled. She wasn't sure if her son was Luo Hui's. If her family sold their house and lost 30 million, they'd be starving. HMPH. Luo Wei snorted coldly. Guo Shouli's reaction said it all. Hee. Lin Tian smiled faintly. Once they divorced, he'd release the incriminating evidence he'd found. Luo Wei would then face at least 10 years in prison. Given this situation, Luo Hui's first suspect would undoubtedly be Guo Shouli, who naturally knew a lot of incriminating information. He'd think Guo Shouli was seeking revenge. The two would fight even more fiercely. In that kind of conflict, Guo Shouli would most likely also end up in jail. Then, husband and wife would both be in jail, neat and tidy. Making them lose their money, their freedom, and their dignity would be more painful than simply killing them. Brother Lu, long time no see. Last time we drank to a draw, let's find a good place to settle things once and for all. Lin Tian arrived at Luo Bingning's company. He saw Lu Guangjian again. It was Sunday, but Luo Bingning had come to the company because of some business. She had messaged Lin Tian half an hour ago, Lu Guangjian. What a load of rubbish. He later found out that Lin Tian had an incredible capacity for alcohol. That day, he had been deliberately getting him drunk. Brother Lu, familiarity breeds contempt, from now on we're friends. Lin Tian said, quickly grabbing Lu Guangjian's right hand. Lu Guangjian's face contorted in pain. Let go. Lu Guangjian gritted his teeth. Lin Tian asked with a smile, Brother Lu, Bingning said the Lu family and the Luo family have had some misunderstandings lately. Is that why you're here? Yes. Lu Guangjian said, enduring the excruciating pain. He tried to pull his hand away, but couldn't. And the more he tried, the stronger Lin Tian's grip became. Brother Lu, since that's the case, we should definitely get more intimate. I'll have to drink a couple more bottles with you later. As Lin Tian spoke, a wisp of internal energy entered Lu Guangjian's hand. He had already warned Lu Guangjian once, but Lu Guangjian still dared to provoke Luo Bingning, so he wouldn't be polite. This wisp of internal energy entered the meridians in Lu Guangjian's hand. With Lin Tian's Grandmaster level martial arts cultivation, it was very well hidden. It only activated at midnight, waking Lu Guangjian in pain. Going to the hospital for a checkup wouldn't reveal anything. Even if a Grandmaster level martial arts expert examined him, it would be very difficult to detect that hidden wisp of internal energy from Lin Tian. Let go, Brother Lin, I was wrong, I'll leave now. Lu Guangjian said in excruciating pain. He felt like the bones in his right hand were about to be crushed by Lin Tian. You're not wrong, I am. I didn't keep you company last time, so today I'm going all out. I'll drink until I have a stomach hemorrhage and still stay with you. Lin Tian said sincerely. Lu Guangjian. If either of them were to drink until they had a stomach hemorrhage, it would definitely be him, not Lin Tian. His alcohol tolerance was far worse than Lin Tian's. Hey, Lin, let go of me right now. I'm the third young master of the Lu family. Who do you think you are, becoming Luo Bingning's boyfriend? You really think you're someone important? Lu Guangjian said through gritted teeth. Luo Bingning entered the office at this moment, coldly saying, Lu Guangjian, you'd better know what you're saying. Your Lu family is quite powerful, but compared to our Luo family, we're still far inferior. You have no right to be so insolent here. Lu Guangjian retorted coldly, Luo Bingning, you'd better make Lin Tian let go, or I definitely won't let him off. Our Lu family can't do anything to your Luo family, but surely we can't do anything to him. His parents are just ordinary farmers. Lin Tian's eyes narrowed, and he silently added 2 more streams of internal energy. Slap. Luo Bingning suddenly struck. She slapped Lu Guangjian hard across the face. She was at the Mingjin level, and this slap was more powerful than that of an ordinary man. Lu Guangjian was instantly stunned by the slap. Who am I? Where am I? How did I get hit? Lin Tian looked at Luo Bingning in surprise. Luo Bingning, a young woman, in her office, had actually slapped Lu Guangjian hard across the face. Luo Bingning, how dare you hit me? Lu Guangjian roared angrily. Slap. Lin Tian released Lu Guangjian's right hand, then slapped him hard across the other side of his face. Lu Guangjian was knocked to the ground. His head was buzzing. He'd first been slapped by Luo Bingning, and now he'd been slapped by Lin Tian. He should have checked the almanac before going out today. Don't yell at my wife, or I'll beat you to death. Lin Tian said calmly. Luo Bingning blushed slightly. Lu Guangjian used his left hand to push himself up. His right hand was trembling. This shake with Lin Tian hurt even more than the last time. Lin Tian, you just wait. Lu Guangjian gritted his teeth, his eyes filled with resentment. Lu Guangjian, if your Lu family wants to challenge our Luo family, then bring it on. You'll bear the consequences. Luo Bingning's face instantly turned cold. Lu Guangjian said grimly, Luo Bingning, our Lu family has assets worth tens of billions. Your father might not be willing to fight us for Lin Tian. Lin Tian, you've already caused the Luo family a lot of trouble before even marrying Luo Bingning. The Luo family will not approve of your relationship. You will pay the price for your actions today. As he spoke, Lu Guangjian reached the door. After saying this, he quickly opened the office door and rushed out. Luo Bingning looked at Lin Tian with some worry. Lin Tian, why did you act rashly? If I had hit him, he wouldn't have dared to tell anyone, and the Lu family wouldn't dare target our Luo family. If you hit him, the Lu family might take action. Although you are strong, the Lu family will find other ways to target you. Lin Tian smiled slightly. Wife, do you know what the most basic, fundamental rule of this world is? What? Luo Bingning asked Yehuoda. Lin Tian said calmly. The most fundamental rule is actually the law of the jungle, whoever has the biggest fist is the boss. Luo Bingning frowned slightly. The Lu family is very powerful. The Lu family has billions in assets, their influence in all aspects is considerable. Lin Tian chuckled. You don't understand the power of a martial arts grandmaster. Compared to a martial arts grandmaster, the Lu family is nothing. Let me put it this way, even if I killed Lu Guangjian, as long as I didn't kill him openly, the country would pretend not to know. He was already a martial arts grandmaster, but he didn't mention this for now. He'd talk about it later when he wanted to try and get the golden treasure chest. A martial arts grandmaster at his age is already astonishing. The government doesn't care if he kills someone. Luo Bingning was somewhat incredulous. Lin Tian smiled calmly. A well-prepared martial arts grandmaster is difficult to kill even with heavy firepower like sniper rifles. Don't even mention the police. Even if you send a whole regiment of soldiers, killing a martial arts grandmaster in a city would be very difficult. There are too many places to hide in a city, and there are so many civilians. Luo Bingning was shocked. A Chinese regiment has 1,000 or 2,000 men, how could so many soldiers be no match for a martial arts grandmaster? Martial arts grandmasters are difficult to kill, and for a country, a martial arts grandmaster is actually a strategic force. In the event of war, martial arts grandmasters can easily carry out decapitation strikes. They're both difficult to kill and crucial. What do you think the country will do? Lin Tian chuckled. Luo Bingning muttered, as long as martial arts grandmasters don't act recklessly, will the country turn a blind eye to some things? That's right. Lin Tian smiled and said, so you don't need to worry about me. Also, if you encounter any trouble, tell me immediately. With me here, the sky won't fall. Luo Bingning stared at Lin Tian, somewhat dazed. A bronze treasure chest appeared above her head. Lin Tian smiled slightly, surprised by this unexpected gain. A bronze treasure chest, I'll nurture it. Let's see if I can raise it to silver level. Lin Tian thought to himself. He had acquired quite a few skills. Now, his focus had shifted from quantity to quality. It would be best to open treasure chests only when they reached silver level. For now, it wasn't necessary to only open gold treasure chests. The skills from silver treasure chests were already very powerful. Most of the skills obtained from the golden treasure chests are overkill. Does he even need god-level skills like cooking and calligraphy? Forget god-level, his current grandmaster-level calligraphy is enough to astound countless people. Bingning, will the Lu family target my parents? Lin Tian asked. He didn't know much about such a large family. Luo Bingning shook her head. That's unlikely. Don't harm your family, a rule that most major powers abide by. Everyone has family. Breaking this rule makes you vulnerable to targeting by many other forces, and the outcome is often tragic. Besides, our country still has laws. Lin Tian nodded slightly, but he remained vigilant. The Lu family is backed by the Eastern Ying Kingdom, who knows if the people of Eastern Ying Kingdom might act recklessly. There's also Luo Wei. Luo Wei probably wouldn't suspect him of secretly plotting, but it's better to be safe than sorry. His parents' safety needed to be ensured. Bingning, I need to make a call. Go tell your employees. They're gossiping a lot, don't let it get into rumors. Lin Tian said. Luo Bingning nodded and left the office. Lin Tian thought for a moment and dialed Yang Zhirang's number. General Yang, I have a small favor to ask you. On the other end of the line, Yang Zhirang laughed. Master Lin, what could you possibly need my help with? Yang Zhirang knew that, masked man, was Lin Tian. He knew Lin Tian was a martial arts master and quite wealthy. General Yang, I want to find some people to secretly protect my parents, so I don't cause them any danger in the future. Lin Tian said. Yang Zhirang said, Lin Tian, you want to find a few retired soldiers. Of course, there are plenty of those. You can have as many as you want. Many soldiers retire from the military in China every year. Many of them are highly capable. Lin Tiandao said, General Yang, we don't need too many, 10 or so will do. They just need to be competent in all aspects. I'll pay each of them 50,000 yuan a month. Yang Zhirang asked doubtfully, who offended you? If it's another country targeting you, you don't need to worry too much. The enemy will definitely come after you, not your parents. Targeting ordinary civilians would damage the country's image. Killing your parents would only enrage you and serve no purpose. Lin Tian said, if a national-level force intervenes, even 10 or so people protecting you wouldn't be enough. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm mainly preventing smaller, less powerful forces from causing trouble. Large forces follow the rules, but smaller forces might not. General Yang pondered, are you sure you need 10 or so people? It's a waste to deal with ordinary troubles like this. General Yang, I'm sure. Lin Tian said. All right, I'll find you suitable people as soon as possible. I'll assign you 2 tactical squads that can take turns providing round-the-clock protection. Returning by plane, Luo Wei and Guo Shuli quickly finalized their divorce. Guo Shuli stared blankly at the divorce certificate in her hand. This morning she was a wealthy wife, this afternoon she was left with nothing. Guo Shuli, if you've collected any dirt on me, you'd better destroy it. If anything happens to me, your whole family will suffer. Luo Wei said coldly to Guo Shuli. He had treated Guo Shuli quite well and hadn't been very wary of her, making it easy for her to collect dirt on him. I was involved in some things too. I'll report you, and then I might end up in jail myself. Guo Shuli said coldly and quickly left. Luo Wei secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Although he had been cheated on badly, Guo Shuli leaving with nothing was, in a way, a good thing for him. Tianyu, I'm divorced from Luo Wei now. We can get a marriage certificate, and we can be together openly from now on. Guo Shuli approached her favorite gigolo, the one who had often persuaded her to divorce. Sister Guo, really? You really divorced Luo Wei? We can get married. The young man, Lu Tianyu, asked excitedly. Guo Shuli nodded. Sister Guo, after thinking it over, you're still the best to me. Let's live a good life together from now on. Sister Guo, how much of the assets did you get? After a passionate encounter, Lu Tianyu asked. Guo Shuli's expression was slightly unnatural. Lu Tianyu said gently, Sister Guo, even if you don't get much, I'll still be good to you. I'll work hard to earn money to support you. In Lu Tianyu's view, the Luo family's assets were worth billions. Even if Guo Shuli got a small share, she would still get $1 billion or $2 billion. Tianyu, you're still the best to me. Luo Wei found out about us. I begged him for a long time before he agreed not to go after you, on the condition that I leave with nothing. Sister Guo has nothing left but you now. Guo Shuli rested her head on Lu Tianyu's arm and whispered. Lu Tianyu sat up instantly. Sister Guo, did Luo Wei really make you leave with nothing? Lu Tianyu asked, his face grim. Guo Shuli replied bitterly, who told him to find out about our affair? We can earn the money back slowly. Fuck you. Lu Tianyu cursed. Guo Shuli, you're a fucking idiot. I told you not to film it when we were doing that, but you wouldn't listen. Now look what's happened. You didn't get your share of the money, and you've caused me all this trouble. Guo Shuli was stunned. Lu Tianyu's demeanor was completely different from before. Tianyu, I did this for our relationship. Guo Shuli still tried to salvage the situation. Lu Tianyu got out of bed, dressing as he cursed, am I crazy to have feelings for you? Don't you even look in the mirror. I'm in my 20s, you're in your 40s or 50s. If Luo Wei weren't rich, I'd be crazy to sleep with an old woman like you. I thought you'd at least get $1 billion or so in the divorce settlement, but you've been kicked out. Guo Shouli's face darkened. Tianyu, you used to call me Sister Guo, not like this. Slap. Lu Tianyu slapped Guo Shouli across the face. So what if I have this attitude? You don't even have any money and you still want to marry me. You're dreaming. Lu Tianyu slammed the door and left. Guo Shouli's face turned pale. Kicked out of the house, her lover, who had wanted to marry her, now seemed like a complete stranger. Half an hour later, she went to a bar to drink. Depressed, she quickly downed a considerable amount of alcohol. Tisk tisk, divorced already. That was fast. Guo Shouli left with nothing, yet she still wanted to marry her lover. Dream on, but reality is harsh. Lin Tian muttered to himself. He had placed a listening app on both Guo Shouli's and Luo Hui's phones, allowing him to clearly know what was happening. Tap tap. Lin Tian typed. He hacked into the bar's security camera footage. The footage showed Guo Shouli drinking and using her phone. She looked almost drunk. It's normal for her to leak information when her lover won't marry her and she's drunk too much. Lin Tian muttered. He first saved the incriminating evidence to Guo Shouli's phone, then used her social media accounts to upload it online. These scandals alone are enough to keep Luo Wei locked up at a sewing machine for years. What the hell is going on? What's wrong with Sister Guo? Guo Shouli is a wealthy woman, the Luo family's assets are in the billions. Her social media accounts have many followers, and soon someone saw the information. The information was extremely explosive, the relevant information quickly spread online. Guo Shouli, I'll curse your ancestors. Half an hour later, Luo Wei received the news. He saw what Guo Shouli had exposed and roared furiously. Immediately, Luo Wei dialed Guo Shouli's number. Hello, Guo Shouli mumbled drunkenly in the bar. Guo Shouli, you're asking for it. Luo Wei roared. Luo Wei, I'm not afraid of you. You'd better give me more money, or we'll both die. Guo Shouli said drunkenly. Her courage grew with alcohol, and she spoke her mind. Lin Tian smiled faintly. Guo Shouli's words completely settled things. Luo Wei would never suspect that someone else was behind it all. I didn't provoke you, yet you tried to trap and control me. Are you happy now? Lin Tian muttered to himself. Late at night, Lin Tian finished his cultivation and fell asleep. Lu Guangjian was still in S-City, staying at a 5-star hotel, next to a woman sleeping. Ah! Lu Guangjian, fast asleep, suddenly screamed loudly. It felt as if a toothpick had pierced his fingertip. Young Master Lu, what's wrong? The woman sleeping next to him woke up with a start. Lu Guangjian was awakened by the pain, clutching his right hand tightly. Turn on the light, Lu Guangjian said sharply. The woman turned on the light. Lu Guangjian carefully examined his right hand. The pain was in his right middle finger, but the middle finger looked perfectly normal. Turn on the flashlight. Lu Guangjian gritted his teeth, cold sweat pouring down his face from the pain. The woman turned on the flashlight on her phone, shining it closer for a clearer view, but he still couldn't find anything wrong. Take me to the hospital. Less than half an hour later, Lu Guangjian arrived at a relatively large hospital, but before any examination could be performed, the excruciating pain completely disappeared. What happened? Lu Guangjian asked, puzzled. After careful consideration, he had X-rays taken and a thorough examination. The results showed that his right hand was perfectly fine. At 3 in the morning, Lu Guangjian returned to the hotel, exhausted. He quickly fell asleep. Ah! Less than half an hour later, Lu Guangjian let out another scream. He woke up in pain. This time, the pain was in his index finger. Lin Tian transmitted 3 strands of internal energy into his hand, 2 of which were hidden in the meridians of his index and middle fingers respectively. The 3rd strand was in Lu Guangjian's left hand. Every night, in the dead of night, these 3 strands of internal energy would come out and move around. Lu Guangjian rushed to a larger hospital. Hurry, hurry. Don't worry about speeding, let's get there quickly. Lu Guangjian said, enduring the pain. Their car sped to the hospital, and miraculously, the pain in his finger was gone. What happened? Lu Guangjian carefully examined his hand. It was perfectly fine. He pinched it with his left hand, and his right index finger felt no pain at all. But the pain he had felt in the past half hour was definitely not fake. Doctor, the situation is like this. Lu Guangjian explained his situation to the doctor. and then he had another X-ray examination, the results of which were naturally all normal. Doctor, today when I shook hands with someone, my hand was gripped very painfully. Could it be that my hand was scratched by the other person? Luo Bingning asked. The doctor asked, when exactly did this happen? Around noon. Was it painful in the afternoon? Luo Bingning shook his head. Everything was normal in the afternoon, even when I went to sleep. This only happened after I fell asleep. The doctor said, in that case, it's unlikely to be from shaking hands. The X-ray shows your hand is perfectly normal. Luo Bingning could only leave helplessly. This time, he didn't go back to his original hotel, and he also sent the woman away. He simply stayed near the hospital. 9 times out, Lin Tian must have pinched my hand. Luo Bingning gritted his teeth. At 5 in the morning, he finally drifted off to sleep again. Ah! With a scream, Luo Bingning woke up in pain again. He covered his left hand with his right hand, and it was his thumb. How could this be? Luo Bingning was dumbfounded. This time, the pain was in his left hand. He had initially assumed Lin Tian had pinched him, but he had used his right hand, and even if his right hand was injured, his left hand wouldn't hurt. Even if he called the police or hired a lawyer, Lin Tian wouldn't get away with it. The police would definitely need evidence. The hospital X-rays showed nothing wrong with him. Doctor, Luo Bingning quickly returned to the hospital. He was seen by the same doctor. He came quickly this time, still in considerable pain when he saw the doctor. However, the X-ray results for his left hand were still normal. Mr. Luo, this could be a mental or psychological issue. Perhaps you should try a different hospital specializing in that. The doctor suggested. Upon hearing this, Luo Bingning's face darkened. I'm not mentally ill, I could never have such an illness. Prescribe me some more painkillers. The doctor prescribed Luo Bingning other painkillers. He had prescribed painkillers before, but they hadn't worked. Luo Bingning left the hospital when it was already dawn. He looked extremely weak and haggard. Having been awakened by pain 3 times and gone to the hospital 3 times, he was exhausted. He quickly bought a plane ticket to the capital, hoping that perhaps he could be treated there. My follower count is growing a bit slowly, Lin Tian muttered. His followers had reached 36 million, but the growth rate had clearly slowed. The reason was simple. Even though he was a master of both the Erhu and Guqin, the combined audience for each was only so large. This was even because martial arts had also attracted many fans, otherwise, reaching 20 million followers would have been quite difficult. Should I add the suona? Lin Tian wondered to himself. Rumor has it that the sound of the suona signifies either ascension to heaven or a wedding ceremony. Some suona tunes are indeed suitable for live streaming. As for uploading videos, sad tunes should also work. Sad tunes are used at funerals. If I add the suona, I reckon many people will use the tunes I upload for weddings and funerals. It could attract a lot of fans. Lin Tian muttered to himself. Now that he's a grandmaster of martial arts, Lin Tian's desire for more fans isn't primarily for his own safety. Having acquired skills in 3 traditional instruments, the Guqin, Erhu, and suona, he genuinely wants to revitalize traditional culture. The more fans he has, the more people will be exposed to traditional culture through him, and many will surely fall in love with it. I'll upload some videos first to test the waters. Lin Tian muttered to himself. Not long after, Lin Tian bought the suona. These things weren't expensive, his suona was at the Grandmaster level, so he didn't need to buy an expensive one. At the Grandmaster level, one already possesses the ability to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, and the influence of the instrument is greatly reduced. Let's start with an upbeat song, so we don't send the fans away right away. Lin Tian muttered to himself. He thought for a moment and recorded, 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix, first. Then he recorded, a pot of old wine. For the 3rd song, Lin Tian chose, Anhe Bridge. He didn't choose a grand funeral style piece for now, wanting his fans to adjust first. Too much stimulation at once wouldn't be good. What if a longtime fan like Mr. Shen passed away after such a grand funeral? After recording the 3 songs, Lin Tian quietly listened to them all, becoming quite absorbed in them himself. Beautiful music. If more people appreciate traditional instruments like the suona, more classic pieces will emerge. Lin Tian thought to himself. He quickly uploaded the 3 videos to Huayin, a Chinese audio platform, and within a short time, many of his fans had seen them. Wow, Master Lin is actually playing the Suona. My goodness. Master Lin is a master of the Erhu and Guqin, could he also be incredibly skilled at the Suona? Probably at least a master level. Many people commented first, and many others clicked to listen. 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix is so beautiful. A pot of old wine made me cry tears. Just finished listening to Anhe Bridge, please cover me with a cloth. Soon, many comments appeared below the 3 videos. In recording these 3 pieces, Lin Tian displayed top-tier master-level skill. While he was currently a grandmaster level on the Suona, higher than on the Erhu and Guqin, he didn't need to appear so strong. Inside a courtyard house in the capital, reminded by Shen Wanchen, old Shen quickly clicked on the video. The first piece he listened to was, A Pot of Old Wine. After listening to it, he was filled with emotion. Such music resonates more deeply with older people. Dad, I saw some comments online. Listening to Anhe Bridge first, then 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix will make you feel better, Shen Wanchen said. Old Shen nodded slightly. He listened to Anhe Bridge. In good heavens, after listening to it, old Shen felt an urge to lie in his coffin. Thankfully, after listening to 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix, he returned to the mortal realm. Master Lin's 3 pieces are all divine. Old Shen looked at Shen Wanchen. Shen Wanchen said with a bitter face, Dad, you don't need to tell me, I'll go tip right away. How about 1,000 gold coins per video? Old Shen said calmly, tipping is voluntary. Master Lin doesn't actually owe us any favors, but he still treated you. Master Lin is very considerate, are you so inconsiderate? Shen Wanchen said with a bitter face, Dad, 3,000 gold coins per video is fine, right? Or 5,000 per video per day. Or you can let me use an auto-clicker. I'll tip 10,000 gold coins per video. Old Shen said impatiently, no auto-clicker allowed. You'll have to tip 10,000 gold coins per video for 3 consecutive days. Shen Wanchen, hurry up, maybe when I pass away, you can even invite Master Lin to play a tune for me. Old Shen said calmly. Suona Master Cheng Yang. Master Lin is a Suona master. Master Lin's 3 divine Suona pieces. Lin Tian has 36 million followers, and many people are frantically sharing the news, which quickly became a trending topic on Weibo. A triple grandmaster, that's astonishing. Furthermore, everyone knows that Lin Tian is a martial arts master. Given his age, it's highly likely he'll become a martial arts grandmaster in the future. Wouldn't that make him a quadruple grandmaster? The thought of this has left many speechless. When did becoming a grandmaster become so easy? In China's population of over 1 billion, there have never been any grandmasters for the Erhu or Suona, and only 1 grandmaster for the Guqin, Dongwai Ren. Master Lin's old wine broke my dad's heart. He's so old, but he cried buckets after listening to 1 piece. My grandpa just listened to Master Lin's Anhe Bridge, and he told me to prepare his coffin early, saying he'd play it after he passes away. Do you think Master Lin is hiding something? I seriously doubt if Master Lin's martial arts have reached the grandmaster level. Many netizens discussed this heatedly. Many streamers jumped on the bandwagon and released related videos. After recording about 10 more pieces, Lin Tian noticed his followers had increased by hundreds of thousands, at a much faster rate. I'll release 2 more songs. I've already released so many videos for the Erhu and Guqin, but only 3 for the Suona. Lin Tian muttered to himself. After thinking for a moment, Lin Tian chose Double Happiness and The Grand Funeral. Lin Tian quickly uploaded these 2 videos. Many people were watching his videos, and many fans soon noticed that he had surprisingly uploaded new videos again today. My mother passed away 3 years ago. After hearing the grand funeral procession, I cried like a fool. Mom, I miss you, sob sob. My uncle's funeral is today. I just played this, and wow, dozens of people here are wailing. The double happiness symbol is eerie and stunning, high energy throughout. In the courtyard house in the capital, old Master Shen finished listening to the grand funeral procession. Dad, you should listen to less of this. Shen Wanchen coughed lightly beside him. Old Shen said irritably, are you afraid I'll die? At my age, what's there to be upset about? Death is also a part of life. Shen Wanchen said, Dad, I've seen more than 1 Suona master say that Master Lin's Suona playing is at a master level. Definitely. Old Shen said with emotion, Master Lin is so young, yet he's already a triple master, his future is truly limitless. Third son, these two pieces are also very good. Send him some gold coins later. Shen Wanchen. It was noon. Luo Bingning opened the Huayin app. Before, when she was at the company, she basically never browsed short videos. But now that she knows, Masked Hero is Lin Tian, she checks it occasionally to see if Lin Tian has posted any new videos. To see how many followers Lin Tian has gained. And also to check the comment section of Lin Tian's videos. If someone criticizes Lin Tian, she'll even go and say a few words. Huh, Lin Tian can play the suona. Luo Bingning was surprised. She put on her headphones and listened. After 5 songs, tears welled up in her eyes. The last song she listened to was, The Grand Funeral. She thought of her grandmother. You rascal, sending such a tear-jerking song. Luo Bingning wiped her tears with a tissue. The bronze treasure chest above her head transformed into a silver one. Dad, Master Lin released a new piece, it's really nice. Luo Bingning thought for a moment and sent her father a message. Luo Hongquan was free at the moment. Upon receiving the message, he opened the Huayin app. He had given Lin Tian a spaceship and had long been a fan of Lin Tian. He had watched all of Lin Tian's previous videos. A suona. Luo Hongquan's eyes lit up. In another 2 weeks it will be Mom's death anniversary. Luo Hongquan murmured to himself. He locked his office door and opened the Grand Funeral video. After listening to the song, Luo Hongquan was overcome with tears. Mom, I miss you. Do you know, Bingning is already married? Luo Hongquan murmured to himself. After a while, Luo Hongquan finally selected the second song, Anhei Bridge, which stirred many emotions within him. Finally, Luo Hongquan listened to 100 Birds Paying Homage to the Phoenix. After listening to this, he finally felt better. Life and death, joy and sorrow. Many things in this world must be experienced firsthand. Luo Hongquan murmured to himself. He thought of his daughter. They opposed Luo Bingning's marriage, but only she knew if the shoe fit. Was their strong opposition really a good thing? Beep beep. Luo Hongquan dialed Luo Bingning's number. Luo Bingning was startled. Why was her father calling at this time? Did he feel uncomfortable after hearing what he heard? Dad. Luo Bingning answered the phone quickly. Luo Hongquan asked, Bingning, you and Lin Tian have been married for over 20 days. How is married life? Luo Bingning was stunned. What had gotten into her father? Dad, I think married life is great. I like my life now, and I won't divorce Lin Tian. Luo Bingning took a deep breath and said. Luo Hongquan was stunned. He hadn't expected Luo Bingning to give him such a firm answer. You've only been together for a little over 20 days. Are you sure you can decide on your life partner in such a short time? Luo Hongquan was somewhat incredulous. Generally, couples dating for 20 days probably haven't even held hands yet. Marriage is still a long way off. Luo Bingning said earnestly, Dad, I'm sure. Lin Tian is the one I want to spend my life with. Luo Hongquan knew his daughter well. Luo Bingning was definitely not joking. Your grandmother's death anniversary is in half a month. You need to come back. Have Lin Tian come back with you then. Luo Hongquan hung up the phone after saying that. Luo Bingning was overjoyed. Her father's words meant he was going to accept Lin Tian. This was undoubtedly good news for her. She naturally didn't want her parents' relationship with Lin Tian to sour. Beep beep. Luo Bingning made a video call to Lin Tian. Bingning, what's up? Lin Tian asked. A smile appeared on his face. He immediately noticed that the treasure chest above Luo Bingning's head was now a silver one. Luo Bingning said happily, Lin Tian, my dad just called me. He asked how my life is after I got married. What did you say? Lin Tian asked with a smile. Luo Bingning blushed slightly. I said everything was fine, that I wouldn't divorce you, and that we'd stay together forever. My dad wants me to take you back to meet him in 2 weeks. 2 weeks later is my grandmother's death anniversary. I guess my dad wants to tell her we're married. Lin Tian was surprised. Why is she meeting his parents so soon? He had originally planned to meet them around the Lunar New Year at the earliest. However, the Lunar New Year isn't really suitable, the weather is cold then. It would be better for Luo Bingning to go to Sanya. He was a grandmaster of martial arts. He was confident that Luo Bingning could survive the winter in a warm place like Sanya. He wasn't so sure about her in colder climates. Bingning, have you told your dad about my situation? Lin Tian asked. Luo Bingning shook her head. No, but I just messaged him saying Masked Man released a new video. Maybe my dad got a little upset. Lin Tian secretly chuckled. Did today's video still have that kind of power? Yang, you came to S City without even calling your godfather. I could have picked you up from the airport. Lin Tian said at the entrance of the residential complex. A little over an hour ago, Yang Fei got into a taxi and called him to say he was in S City and planned to visit. Yang Fei replied irritably, how could I trouble you, godfather? You call yourself godfather every day even without my invitation. You know the area well, find a place. I'll treat you and your sister-in-law to a meal. Let's eat at home. Your sister-in-law will be cooking soon. Lin Tian smiled. Yang Fei was taken aback. Your sister-in-law is a rich heiress, does she even know how to cook? Bingning's cooking is quite delicious. Lin Tian said with a chuckle. Your sister-in-law is a wealthy heiress, stunningly beautiful, and a great cook. Wouldn't everyone in your class be green with envy? Yang Fei exclaimed. The two quickly entered the residential complex. Beep beep, Luo Bingning called. Lin Tian answered, Bingning, what's up? Lin Tian, have you picked up Yang Fei? I called Yanzi over too. Yes, we're downstairs. Hanging up, Lin Tian chuckled. One of Bingning's best friends is here, so you won't be a third wheel later. Yang Fei's eyes lit up. Someone who can be best friends with your sister-in-law must be quite pretty, right? Is she single? Lin Tian thought for a moment. Tang Yan and Yang Fei were indeed a good match. They were both martial artists and had common ground. Their families were also quite well off. Bingning's best friend is quite pretty. She's also single, and probably the same age as Bingning. Lin Tian said. He. Yang Fei was a little excited. Soon after, Lin Tian and the others went upstairs. The door opened, and Tang Yan and Yang Fei immediately saw each other. Violent woman. Crazy woman. Tang Yan and Yang Fei blurted out. Lin Tian was taken aback. Yang, you two know each other. Yang Fei nodded. Yes, we've known each other since we were little. We just haven't seen each other much in the years after we went to university. Hello Yang Fei, I'm Luo Bingning, Lin Tian's girlfriend. Please sit down for a moment, the food will be ready soon. Luo Bingning came out of the kitchen with a smile. Hello, sister-in-law. I was originally planning to invite you and brother Lin to eat out, but brother Lin said you'd already cooked. Thank you so much, sister-in-law. Yang Fei quickly said. Luo Bingning smiled and returned to the kitchen. Lin Tian chuckled and asked, Yang, Tang Yan, your nicknames are quite interesting. Yang Fei glanced at Tang Yan. We used to live in the same courtyard. She was a girl, and she was always fighting with others. Tang Yan glared at him. You have the nerve to talk about me like that. When you were 12, you got into a fight with a few people, grabbed one guy and beat him to a pulp. You broke 3 of his ribs. I was just dragged into this because of you. Yang Fei said irritably, they came to cause you trouble. They asked where you were, and when I didn't tell them, they attacked. Tang Yan was taken aback. You didn't tell them before. Yang Fei complained. I was young and naive back then. I thought people in the underworld should be loyal, and I ended up getting a good beating from my dad. Why is your best friend a violent woman? I was thinking she'd be a gentle, rich heiress. Yang Fei shook his head helplessly. Tang Yan glared angrily. Lin Tian laughed. All right, wash your hands and eat. If you're unhappy, find a place to fight later. Soon, Lin Tian helped Luo Bingning bring out all the dishes. Sister-in-law, did you make all of this? Yang Fei asked incredulously. The dishes on the table looked very appealing. Yes. Luo Bingning nodded with a smile. Yang Fei gave a thumbs up. Sister-in-law, impressive. But even more impressive is my brother Lin, finding a girlfriend like you. Yang, your flattery skills have improved. Lin Tian opened a bottle of wine, poured himself a drink, and laughed. Yang Fei chuckled. I need to flatter you more, sister-in-law, so you can introduce me to a girlfriend in the future. Luo Bingning glanced at Tang Yan. Yang Fei quickly said, Sister-in-law, a violent woman is out of the question. I prefer gentle and virtuous women, and she's completely different. Tang Yan gritted her teeth. Lin Tian changed the subject. Yang, you came to S City to participate in the Youth Martial Arts Exchange Conference jointly hosted by China, South Korea, and Japan. Yang Fei was taken aback. However, he quickly realized that Lin Tian was a martial arts master, so it wasn't surprising that he knew about this. Brother Lin, you're participating? Yang Fei asked excitedly. If Lin Tian, a martial arts master, participated, then this trilateral youth martial arts exchange conference would be a sure thing. Lin Tian nodded. I'm the translator for the Chinese side. He had Tang Pengyuan arrange a translator position for him. He happened to be fluent in both Korean and Japanese. If there weren't any serious casualties, he would just watch the excitement from the sidelines. The translation wouldn't actually be necessary. There were other translators available. If there were casualties, he would help the Chinese side. As for the people from Japan and South Korea, let them die wherever they want. Tang Yan frowned and said, crazy, I heard that Japan and South Korea both have experts this time. Have you reached the inner strength level? Tang Yan was currently at the early stage of inner strength, while Yang Fei was at the middle stage. The difference wasn't significant, and they couldn't tell from each other. Of course. Yang Fei nodded. This is my first time participating in the youth martial arts tournament. I hope to give them a surprise. Yang Fei was quite proud of his current middle stage inner strength level. If he didn't compare himself to Lin Tian, this level of strength was already very impressive among the younger generation. I wish you a resounding victory. Lin Tian raised his glass and smiled. Luo Bingning and the others also raised their glasses. Luo Bingning poured herself a little bit of baijiu Chinese liquor. A little baijiu at home was fine. An hour later, Tang Yan and Yang Fei left together. Lin Tian, I think Tang Yan and Yang Fei are a bit like a bickering couple. They're quite a good match. Lin Tian was clearing the dishes when Luo Bingning said beside him. Her cheeks were flushed from the wine, and Lin Tian had an urge to lean in and kiss her. They've known each other for a long time. It's up to them. Lin Tian chuckled. Bingning, have you called your teacher recently? Your teacher's wife's illness should be much better, right? Luo Bingning nodded. My teacher's wife's illness has indeed improved a lot. Lin Tian chuckled. We agreed before that we'd kiss twice when she was cured. Now that she's half cured, shouldn't we kiss her first? You kiss me. Luo Bingning mustered her courage and said. She actually had a slight doubt in her heart. Lin Tian had clearly had several opportunities, so why hadn't he kissed her? She suspected that perhaps because she had rejected him so many times, Lin Tian had lost confidence, and now that he had drunk some alcohol, he was a little bolder. Lin Tian chuckled, my hands are oily. Wait until I finish washing the dishes, then it'll feel better to hug and kiss. Luo Bingning blushed and quickly went back to her room. Her heart was pounding. I wonder if I can reach the gold level. Lin Tian muttered to himself. Before the kiss, Luo Bingning was quite nervous, but with another kiss later, there was still hope. Lin Tian quickly finished washing the dishes. Luo Bingning took a shower and changed into a cute set of pajamas. Lin Tian walked towards Luo Bingning with a smile. Luo Bingning's heart, which had calmed down a bit, started racing again. Bingning, close your eyes. Luo Bingning closed her eyes, and Lin Tian hugged her. Luo Bingning's heart pounded, and her cheeks flushed. She could feel Lin Tian's head getting closer. Lin Tian lowered his head, gazing intently at Luo Bingning's exquisite face. Perhaps due to the influence of her Zhanyin meridian, Luo Bingning's skin was as smooth as jade. Even up close, her face was flawless. A month ago I was still single, and now I've actually gotten a girl like Luo Bingning. Heaven has opened its eyes. No, I have to thank Grandpa for this. I'll have to burn more paper money at Grandpa's grave from now on. Lin Tian thought to himself. He looked at Luo Bingning's alluring lips. Kissing her small lips must feel wonderful, but he'd wait. They were married, Luo Bingning would be his sooner or later. Before he could completely possess her, he needed to acquire more treasures. Lin Tian, are you going to kiss me or not? Luo Bingning asked shyly. She could clearly feel Lin Tian's head less than 10 centimeters away from her. She could clearly feel his breath. But Lin Tian didn't kiss her for a long time. This made her heart pound. Of course I'll kiss you. I'm thinking about whether to kiss your forehead, your cheek, or your lips. Lin Tian said with a smile. Luo Bingning said shyly, who agreed to kiss me on the lips. We agreed before that it would be a kiss on the cheek or your forehead. Really? Yes, of course. Luo Bingning said quickly. Lin Tian glanced at the top of Luo Bingning's head. It was still a silver treasure chest. It seemed that this time, the silver treasure chest wouldn't upgrade to a gold treasure chest. Without further delay, he lowered his head and kissed Luo Bingning's forehead. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, Lin Tian chose to kiss her forehead, but once he kissed her, he didn't pull away. Luo Bingning froze. After a while, Luo Bingning came to her senses, and she said in a trembling voice, Lin Tian, you haven't finished kissing me yet. It was just a kiss. Lin Tian hugged Luo Bingning tightly. His lips didn't leave. No one had agreed on how long the kiss would last. 10 minutes wouldn't be a problem, right? You naughty boy, you're cheating. Luo Bingning said coquettishly, her head quickly tilting back, but Lin Tian was a grandmaster. His reaction speed was top-notch. Although Luo Bingning's movements were quick, she didn't pull away. You naughty boy, you're not allowed to kiss me anymore. This time it's over. Luo Bingning said, leaning back. Soon she realized something was wrong. She felt her chest touching Lin Tian's. Her heart pounded even harder. Her face turned even redder. Lin Tian noticed that the silver treasure chest above Luo Bingning's head had finally changed. The silver treasure chest had turned into a golden treasure chest. Hee. The treasure chest rewards those who persevere. Lin Tian secretly rejoiced. He placed one hand on Luo Bingning's waist and the other on her head. He straightened Luo Bingning, who had been leaning back. Lin Tian's hand also touched the treasure chest. Ding! Golden treasure chest opened. Congratulations, host, for obtaining Grandmaster level feng shui. The system's voice rang in Lin Tian's mind. A flood of information rapidly entered his mind. Wife, a kiss doesn't have a time limit, hee. Lin Tian finished speaking and quickly went to his room. You naughty guy, I won't let you kiss me anymore. Luo Bingning looked annoyed. Of course, she wasn't really angry, she was just shy. As a daughter of a wealthy family, a refined young lady, she had always kept her distance from boys and had never harbored feelings for anyone. Even a kiss on the forehead was a very intimate gesture to her. A kiss on the forehead is still a kiss, different from holding hands. This guy, if you say he's bold, he chose to kiss my forehead, if you say he's cowardly, he won't let go. Luo Bingning muttered to herself. Little did she know, Lin Tian could extract treasure chests from her, using a step-by-step strategy to maximize his gains. Such a vast amount of information. 10 minutes passed, and Lin Tian finally digested the feng shui skill he had acquired. The information in this area was even more complex than the information on martial arts and ancient medicine combined. Feng shui involves people, and everything in the world. It's not as magical as some people think, but it's not superstition either. Scientific explanations of feng shui also make sense for it. A very important concept in feng shui is energy field. A gloomy and terrifying haunted house undoubtedly has an incorrect energy field, and living in such a place for a long time will cause problems for the person. It's not bad to have this skill. Lin Tian thought to himself. Adjusting the feng shui would be beneficial for Luo Bingning's condition. Everything in the world has a magnetic field, and Lin Tian can now adjust this field by arranging different items in his home. Some feng shui masters don't actually know this, they rely solely on experience. Only someone at Lin Tian's level can understand the what and the why. Tisk, interesting. Lin Tian turned on his computer and looked up some information. He first looked at the power struggle between the Bank of China Tower and HSBC. The Bank of China Tower resembles 3 upright, sharp knives, one of which points directly at HSBC, whose rooftop features a cannon. Using the building as a knife, using destruction to neutralize evil. Both sides' feng shui masters are at the master level, but still a bit short of grandmaster level. Lin Tian muttered. Using destruction to neutralize evil will have a significant impact on the surrounding area. Lin Tian discovered that this cannon had caused a misunderstanding years ago. A typhoon blew it askew, causing the muzzle to point towards Standard Chartered Bank. Standard Chartered Bank immediately sent a lawyer's letter to HSBC. Not long after, Lin Tian found a picture of a Junhai Tower online. This one is much more powerful. Grandmaster level. Lin Tian muttered to himself, it's a pity that it's fighting against the power of heaven and earth. Even the Junhai Tower, supervised by a Grandmaster, isn't entirely effective. Lin Tian spent some time searching online for more information. The Junhai Tower utilizes the power of the dragon veins between heaven and earth. Dragon veins sound mystical, but they are actually large magnetic fields formed by mountains and rivers, using the power of heaven and earth to counteract the power of heaven and earth. How much of this power can be utilized depends on the skill of the feng shui master. Even if Junhai Tower only withstands 10% of natural disasters, it will still benefit many people and bring immeasurable merit. Feng shui is quite interesting. It's mysterious and mystical, yet it contains scientific principles. Lin Tian muttered to himself. After shutting down his computer and taking a shower, Lin Tian began cultivating the Azure Ocean technique. He was a grandmaster of martial arts at its peak. With diligent cultivation, he estimated he could reach the god level in only 30 or 40 years. Even reaching the god level in 30 or 40 years wouldn't be bad. He'd only be in his 60s afterward. As a grandmaster of martial arts, living to 200 years old wouldn't be a problem. If he reached the god level, he might even live to 300. For someone who can live to 200 or 300, 60 years old is very young. Beep, beep. Outside, Luo Bingning received a call from her mother. Mom. Luo Bingning was a little nervous. She guessed that her father had told her mother about bringing Lin Tian home. If her mother still strongly opposed it, things would still be troublesome. Bingning, tell your father that you've decided to be with Lin Tian, and that even if you don't divorce in 3 years. Luo Bingning's mother asked. Luo Bingning took a deep breath and said, Mom, it's like this. Did you sleep with him? Luo Bingning's mother frowned. Her own little cabbage had been uprooted so quickly. Luo Bingning stamped her foot. Mom, what are you saying? Nothing like that. Luo Bingning's mother breathed a slight sigh of relief. Bingning, your dad has talked to me a lot. I know your personality. Once you've made up your mind, not even 10 oxen could pull you back. But let me tell you, even if you decide to be with Lin Tian, don't give everything away too soon. Things that are too easily obtained may not be cherished. Luo Bingning glanced towards Lin Tian's room. Mom, Lin Tian shouldn't be that kind of person. But I'll listen to you. Mom, Dad said he'll take Lin Tian back on Grandma's death anniversary. Luo Bingning's mother said, your dad is the head of the family. He's made up his mind, how could I object to Lin Tian coming? His family isn't well off, so he shouldn't buy expensive gifts. If you're happy, we don't have any material requirements. A warm feeling welled up in Luo Bingning's heart. Mom, thank you. Luo Bingning's mother sighed. Mom hopes you marry well, but if you've made your choice, Mom respects it. You're an adult now. Go to sleep early. Good night. Luo Bingning's mother, Shu Yin, hung up the phone. Beside her, Luo Hongchuan chuckled. Wife, I thought you'd try to persuade our daughter again. Why didn't you try? Shu Yin said irritably. Dad agrees, and you don't object anymore. Am I the only one who objects and becomes the bad guy? Besides, our daughter accepted Lin Tian so quickly. Lin Tian must have some redeeming qualities. Why don't you have someone investigate him again? Luo Hongchuan shook his head. What's the point of investigating? They've only been married for about 20 days. Could Lin Tian have changed so drastically in such a short time? Besides, it's not good to investigate now that they're married. They'll be back soon, let's find out in person. Shu Yin nodded slightly. Then let's do it that way. So many talented young men didn't suit her, yet our daughter has chosen Lin Tian. Is this fate? Luo Hongchuan smiled faintly. I don't know about fate, but I know our daughter is definitely not stupid. Let them get to know each other better. If she hasn't changed her mind by next year, let them have the wedding. Shu Yin nodded slightly. After she brings Lin Tian back, observe him closely and see what industry he's suited for. Arrange a good job for him. The more money he earns, the more grand the wedding on the groom's side can be. We only have one precious daughter. Luo Hongchuan nodded. Okay, I'll keep an eye on it. Lu Guangjian fell asleep at 10 o'clock that night. Last night was exhausting. He'd been to several hospitals in the capital all day, completely worn out, but the results were good. Several hospitals said his hand was fine. He'd only slept for half an hour when Lu Guangjian screamed awake. Just like last night, it felt like a toothpick was piercing his right middle finger. The pain turned his face deathly pale. No. Lu Guangjian was terrified. If this happened every night, how could he live? Doctor, Doctor, painkillers didn't work, so Lu Guangjian rushed to the hospital. He was currently staying at a hotel near the hospital. Mr. Lu, there's really nothing wrong with your finger. One hospital's examination might be wrong, but you've been to several. I personally still suggest you see a psychiatrist. After taking another X-ray to confirm, the doctor said helplessly. Besides, too many X-rays are harmful to your health. I don't recommend you keep taking X-rays like this. Suddenly, Lu Guangjian's finger stopped hurting. Doctor, my finger doesn't hurt anymore. Lu Guangjian was starting to wonder if he had a mental illness. Dad, is there a history of mental illness in our family? Back at the hotel, Lu Guangjian called his father, Lu Kunho. What nonsense are you talking about? There's no mental illness in our family. Lu Kunho frowned. Lu Guangjian said painfully, Dad, I encountered something strange. After listening to his son, Lu Kunho asked, Son, have you offended any strange person recently? Dad, I haven't offended any strange person. Dad, why do you ask that? Lu Guangjian asked suspiciously. Lu Kunho asked, There's a kind of black magic in Southeast Asia. Could someone be using it against you? Lu Guangjian's expression changed. Dad, isn't black magic something from the movies? Does it really exist in reality? Lu Kunho pondered. Black magic isn't as mystical as it's portrayed in the movies, but it definitely exists. It's formed from the combination of Gu, poisonous insect techniques and local witchcraft. Powerful black magic practitioners possess extraordinary mental strength. Using a person's hair and other materials, they can create a cursed doll that can inflict harm from a distance. Lu Guangjian, pale-faced, said, How could I dare offend such people? I've only offended Lin Tian recently. He's just a bit strong. By the way, he's also a good drinker. Lu Kunho said, Son, don't worry. Dad will find you an expert in this field. He should be able to help you solve the problem. If the curse fails, the victim might suffer a backlash. Lu Guangjian's eyes lit up. Dad, then hurry up. I'm afraid to sleep now, I'm afraid the pain will return. Although he said this, Lu Guangjian was extremely tired and sleepy, and soon he lay down on the bed and fell asleep. Not long after, Lu Guangjian woke up screaming again. His eyes were filled with pain and fear. Half an hour later, the pain subsided, but he woke up for the third time in pain, just like last night, this time in his left thumb. Master Sangji, please examine my son. He's been waking up in pain 6 times in 2 nights. He's likely under a curse. The next day, Lu Kunho brought a strange old man to Lu Guangjian, who looked utterly miserable. The strange old man examined Lu Guangjian. A look of doubt appeared in his eyes. In his experience, Lu Guangjian hadn't been cursed at all. Could it be that he'd encountered someone even more powerful than himself? Mr. Lu, the person who cast the curse on your son is extremely powerful. I might not be able to break it, and if I did, I would offend the sorcerer who cast it. You'd better find someone more skilled. Master Sangji shook his head. Lu Kunho's expression changed. He didn't know any more powerful sorcerers. Master Sangji, please help my son. Money is no object as long as you help. I'll help, Lu Kunho said hastily. Master Sangji was secretly pleased, but he said with difficulty, Mr. Lu, I also want to help, but it's really not about the money. If the other party only has a minor grudge against your son, that's fine. But if it's a major grudge, I'll only make things worse for him if I help him. Lu Kun said kindly, Master Sangji, I'll give you 5 million. If the matter is resolved, I'll give you an even more generous gift. This, Master Sangji hesitated for a while before nodding. Then I'll give it a try. Hopefully, the other party doesn't have any deep-seated grudge against your son. After playing the mystic for half an hour, Master Sangji left. His card now had 5 million more. If Lu Guangjian was still in pain, it was because the other person was more skilled. What did it have to do with him? Anyway, he already had the 5 million. Look at this. A youth martial arts tournament between China, South Korea, and Japan is being held at the city stadium. A student in a dormitory at a university in City S exclaimed. Several students in the dormitory immediately gathered around. This is a screenshot a friend in Japan sent me. Japan publicly announced this news. A screenshot appeared in the chat window. The screenshot was quickly shared, and soon the news was spreading like wildfire among university students. Our country is actually having martial arts competitions with South Korea and Japan. Now everyone knows that ancient martial arts are real, so let's not hold it privately. I want to go watch and cheer them on. Shortly afterward, the topic became a trending topic on Weibo, with many people leaving comments and many wanting to go to the event. But the official response remained silent. A high-rise hotel in City S. Father, just as you predicted. We released the news domestically, and the Chinese love a good spectacle, they want to see it live. A young man dressed in samurai attire said with a smile. A middle-aged man inside the room said, Wayno, you need to step in and get the Chinese government to allow ordinary people to watch. The young man, Fujiwara Wayno, smiled and said, Father, that's easy. I'll just step forward and publicly provoke them. The middle-aged man nodded slightly. With your strength, you're sure to win. This is a great opportunity for our Dongyian kingdom and our family to shine. If you perform well, our family will reap the rewards. The middle-aged man smiled. Fujiwara Wayno said proudly, Father, don't worry. In recent years, the strongest Chinese competitors have only reached the mid-stage of inner strength. I'm already at the late stage of inner strength. China might not even have a mid-stage inner strength martial artist this year. The middle-aged man nodded slightly. After all, it's just a youth martial arts tournament. Having a mid-stage inner strength practitioner is already quite good, and sometimes the strongest is only at the early stage. The youth martial arts tournament has age requirements. The oldest participant cannot be older than 24, and each participant can only participate a maximum of 3 times. Last year, China's strongest martial artist was at the mid-stage of the Dark Force realm, but at 24, he is ineligible to participate this year. Fujiwara-kun, you really are staying here. We heard that you are one of the martial artists representing our Dongyian kingdom this time. Are you confident? 2 Dongyian kingdom reporters ambushed Fujiwara Wayno at the hotel entrance. In reality, they were secretly arranged by Fujiwara Wayno's father. You media reporters are truly well informed. I am naturally confident about this martial arts tournament. Fujiwara Wayno straightened his clothes and said, Fujiwara-kun, the Chinese government has not approved the public holding of the martial arts competition. What are your thoughts on this? The reporter asked. Fujiwara Wayno smiled calmly, a wise choice. It wouldn't be good for the general public to see their people suffer a crushing defeat. I have other matters to attend to. Please excuse me. The relevant news quickly leaked out, causing a public uproar. With over 1 billion people in our country, how could we possibly lose a martial arts competition? That guy from Dongyian is too arrogant. Who does he think he is? The authorities still won't allow it to be made public. Is it really as Fujiwara Wayno said, that Chinese martial arts are inferior to Dongyian's? Many people online were filled with righteous indignation. City Party Secretary Chong Qing summoned Tang Pengyuan. This youth martial arts tournament, jointly organized by our 3 countries, is no small matter. It's being held in RS City this time. Whether or not to make it public is a decision we need to make. Pengyuan, you're a martial artist, give me your opinion. Tang Pengyuan sat up straight, his expression troubled. Secretary, this is quite troublesome. Chong Qing said, tell me how it's troublesome. Tang Pengyuan said in a deep voice, it feels like this was deliberately leaked by the Eastern Sakura Kingdom. Since they did this, the Eastern Sakura Kingdom must have some very powerful experts. Furthermore, in recent years they've often allied with South Korea against us, so our China is more likely to suffer losses. Letting ordinary people watch might not have a good impact. Chong Qing frowned slightly, don't we have any experts? If we don't make it public, we might lose both face and reputation. Worry appeared in Tang Pengyuan's eyes. Secretary, I'm worried the people from Dongyian country might use ruthless tactics. This is real martial arts, a killing technique, people could die. If it's public and people die, the impact will be huge. Just then, a knock sounded at the door. Chong Qinghei's secretary quickly entered the room. Secretary, the Korean side has responded, saying that as the organizers, the decision on whether to open the event is ours. Chong Qing nodded slightly, and the secretary left. Pengyuan, it seems we have no choice but to open it. I will instruct them to distribute some tickets to major universities in S City. You must ensure security is in place. Considering the possibility of injuries, prepare several medical teams to minimize casualties. Chong Qing said in a deep voice. Tang Pengyuan stood up. Yes, Secretary. I will try my best to avoid major casualties among our people. As for the people from Donggying country and Korea, they will have doctors. Chong Qing nodded. Soon, the official announcement was released. Not long after, universities in S City received a batch of tickets, totaling only 1,000. Some of these tickets were given to international students from South Korea and Japan, while only about 800 were allocated to Chinese students. Naturally, many were dissatisfied, but the authorities were already being generous with the number of tickets released. What if they released even more and a major crisis occurred? Brother Lin. Yang Fei looked at Lin Tian expectantly. Just say what you want to say. The way you're looking at me gives me goosebumps. Lin Tian said irritably. Yang Fei coughed lightly. Brother Lin, why don't you step in? The situation doesn't look good to me right now. Japan isn't usually this high profile. They seem so confident this time. I reckon they've got a late-stage inner-strength martial artist. Lin Tian said. Why don't you guess they've got a perfected inner-strength martial artist? Yang Fei shook his head repeatedly. You think everyone's as freakish as you. Becoming a martial arts master before 40 is already amazing. Going back a dozen or so youth martial arts tournaments, the most powerful was a genius martial artist from our country 7 years ago. He was at the late stage of inner strength, and there hasn't been another late stage inner strength master since. Lin Tian asked curiously, who is that genius martial artist? Has he reached the level of a martial arts master yet? Yang Fei sighed. His name was Long Wanli. The Long family is an ancient martial arts family with considerable influence in the military. Long Wanli joined the army a long time ago. Long Wanli died unexpectedly 3 years ago. The exact cause of his death remains a mystery. At this point, Yang Fei paused. Brother Lin, you'd better not intervene. Although you are a martial arts master, if your strength is exposed, you might not be able to withstand an assassination attempt. Lin Tian chuckled. You want me to intervene, but you're also afraid something will happen to me. Yang Fei said helplessly. This commotion has become too big. I don't want our country to lose too badly. But you are already a martial arts master, and you could very well become a martial arts grandmaster in the future. If something happens to you, the country will suffer a huge loss. Lin Tian smiled. Is it possible that I am already a grandmaster? Yang Fei said irritably. You might have had a chance to become a grandmaster before you turned 35, but now you're just spouting nonsense. Who's spouting nonsense? Lin Tian said with a smile. Yang Fei's eyes widened. Brother Lin, you're not really a martial arts grandmaster, are you? That would scare a lot of people. Lin Tian thought to himself, he wasn't just a grandmaster, he was a great grandmaster. But revealing this was too astonishing. Currently, there are no officially recognized martial arts grandmasters in China. If he were a great grandmaster at such a young age, it would be even more unbelievable than Mongolia revealing that it had built an aircraft carrier. I am indeed a martial arts grandmaster. Lin Tian smiled. Yang Fei stared blankly at Lin Tian. Lin Tian didn't seem to be joking. Was his best friend really a martial arts grandmaster? Yang, I can help you open some meridians. While it won't significantly increase your strength, it should be enough to advance you from the mid-stage to the late stage of dark force. Won't it be dangerous for you to display late-stage dark force strength? Lin Tian asked. No, doing so will consume a lot of your power, and that power isn't easily replenished. Yang Fei shook his head repeatedly. There is no spiritual energy in the world, only basic primordial energy. Martial artists can only replenish their depleted power in 3 ways. Food, rare and precious herbs. Another method is to absorb the vital energy of heaven and earth. Ordinary food replenishes energy very slowly. The stomach is only so big, you can only eat so much in one meal, so how much can you actually absorb? Rare and precious natural resources are extremely scarce. Martial artists primarily replenish their energy through cultivation and by drawing upon the vital energy of heaven and earth. Helping someone open their meridians consumes a great deal of internal energy. If too much is depleted, it may take 10 days to half a month to replenish it. His strength would decrease over time. This might give the enemy an opportunity, but it wouldn't be a big problem for Lin Tian. He wasn't just a grandmaster, but a great grandmaster, and his internal energy was far stronger than a grandmaster's. As a great grandmaster, he could absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth at any time, and the replenishment speed was quite good. Why are you spouting so much nonsense? If I don't make a move, who would be so idle as to target me? Besides, your cultivation level isn't high. Helping you reach the late stage of dark force is completely within my capacity. Lin Tian glared. Liang Fei chuckled. Reaching the late stage of dark force would be great, but I'm not a soldier, so reaching that stage isn't a problem. Until you're 30, as long as you don't reach the martial arts master realm, it's fine. Long Wanli's death probably had other factors. Lin Tian nodded slightly. That's fine then. I'll help you reach the late stage of dark force, and you can show off then. Hee hee. Liang Fei grinned. But thinking of Lin Tian's grandmaster level cultivation, his smile became somewhat forced. Comparison is indeed odious. Liang, you should cultivate one cycle first, Lin Tian instructed. Liang Fei nodded. He quickly began cultivating, and Lin Tian memorized his cultivation path. Lin Tian was a grandmaster of martial arts. He quickly understood the principles behind Liang Fei's cultivation method, and he easily discovered that there were some problems with it. Liang, your cultivation method isn't quite complete, is it? Lin Tian inquired. Liang Fei said helplessly, as it's passed down, some things naturally get lost, it's definitely not as complete anymore. I'll help you revise it. From now on, you'll cultivate according to the method I gave you. Half an hour passed, and Lin Tian taught Liang Fei the detailed cultivation method's route, which Liang Fei memorized. This new cultivation method should allow you to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth about 20% faster. Lin Tian said with a faint smile. Liang Fei was overjoyed. A 20% faster absorption of spiritual energy basically meant his cultivation speed would be 20% faster than before. In the long run, this would save a lot of time. If calculated over 50 years, this would save 10 years. Brother Lin, thanks. Liang Fei chuckled. Start cultivating with the new method. I'll open some meridians for you. Lin Tian sat cross-legged behind Liang Fei, placing his hands on Liang Fei's back, and Liang Fei quickly began cultivating. 2 or 3 hours later, the necessary meridians were opened. Blocked meridians contain some internal energy. Opening these meridians increased Liang Fei's internal energy. His strength reached the late stage of dark force. Liang Fei exhaled a breath of turbid air. He slowly finished his practice. Brother Lin, are you all right? Liang Fei stood up, looking at Lin Tian with some concern. Losing internal energy not only carries certain risks but also affects cultivation. What could possibly happen to me? Lin Tian smiled calmly. Neither had a significant impact on him. The internal energy he consumed was not a large proportion. He still possessed the strength of a grandmaster. As for the impact on cultivation, he broke through using the treasure chest. No matter how much he consumed, obtaining the divine level treasure chest would still bring his cultivation to the peak of the divine level. Brother Lin, I'll beat those scum from Dongyian Kingdom. If you don't need to intervene, just continue to play it safe. Liang Fei clenched his fist. Lin Tian chuckled. With my grandmaster level cultivation, wouldn't it be better to remain hidden and not make a move, like wearing fine clothes in the dark? Liang Fei said, you should lie low for a while until your strength recovers. If anything happens to you, I'll blame myself to death. At this point, Liang Fei's expression became somewhat serious. Brother Lin, according to the intelligence we've received, there's a high probability that Dongyian Kingdom already has a grandmaster. Given the relationship between our two countries, if they know you're a grandmaster, the possibility of them coming to hunt you down is definitely not low. Lin Tian asked in surprise, if Dongyian Kingdom has a grandmaster, why haven't they hunted down your father and other martial arts masters? Liang Fei's expression was strange. Brother Lin, are you stupid? Our country is stronger than Dongyian Kingdom now. Killing martial arts masters like them does more harm than good. You've only recently become a grandmaster, killing you would be far more beneficial than harmful. Lin Tian nodded slightly. His eyes flashed with a sharp light. He wondered when a grandmaster from Dongyian Kingdom would come to kill him. He was actually quite looking forward to it. He wouldn't kill an ordinary person who caused him trouble. But if a grandmaster from Dongyian Kingdom came to kill him, he would absolutely not be polite. You should cultivate diligently. The Youth Martial Arts Tournament starts tomorrow. Lin Tian left, and Yang Fei took a deep breath. Lin Tian had helped him advance to the late stage of Dark Force. He owed him a huge favor. However, they're brothers, there's no need to constantly talk about repaying favors, just keep it in mind. That Lin brother is a real scoundrel. He's quietly become a martial arts grandmaster, he's truly mastered the essence of cunning. Yang Fei muttered to himself. Lin Tian had told him before that he was a martial arts master, which had worried Yang Fei, but now he was much more at ease. A martial arts master can be killed with a single sniper bullet. Using the same method, killing a grandmaster would be very difficult. Martial arts grandmasters have stronger intuition, can detect anomalies faster, and can react in the shortest possible time. Beep beep. Just as Lin Tian left Yang Fei's hotel, his phone rang. It was Luo Bingning calling. Lin Tian, do you have time? Lu Guangjian's father is here and wants to see you. Luo Bingning said. Lin Tian raised an eyebrow. Lu Guangjian's father came. Did he suspect that Lu Guangjian's finger pain was caused by him? No time. Tell him to go somewhere cool. Lin Tian said. Luo Bingning felt a little awkward. Lu Cunho wanted to say a few words to Lin Tian, but she had just turned on speakerphone. Lin Tian, Lu Cunho said in a deep voice, my son's hand is in trouble. You'd better come over immediately, or you'll be in big trouble. 5 million had been spent, and Master Sangji said it should be healed. Lu Cunho's current visit was actually to cause trouble for Lin Tian. With his wealth, 5 million was nothing to him, but he couldn't swallow this insult. He wanted to confirm if Lin Tian was behind it. What does your son's hand problem have to do with me? One word for you, get lost. Lin Tian said without any politeness. Lu Cunho's mistress, Zhang Wan, was a spy from Dongjiang country. He estimated that Lu Cunho had been almost completely infiltrated, but Lin Tian couldn't find any information about her online. Lin Tian didn't bother with such people. Lu Cunho's face darkened. He was worth billions, a true tycoon, and Lin Tian just told him to get lost after asking him to come over. Beep beep, Lin Tian hung up the phone. Niece Bingning, even your father wouldn't be this rude to me. Your boyfriend is really something else. I think you'd better break up with him. Lu Cunho said, his face dark. Luo Bingning said calmly, Chairman Lu, my father is getting old. He's not like us young people with our youthful impetuosity. My opinion is the same as Lin Tian's. You can get lost. My relationship is none of your business. Lu Cunho. He was dumbfounded. From what he knew, Luo Bingning, the daughter of the Luo family, was a talented woman from Peking University, well-educated and polite, an excellent candidate for a daughter-in-law. Now, Lin Tian telling him to get lost was one thing, but Luo Bingning's words made Lu Cunho feel completely humiliated. Luo Bingning, is this how the Luo family raises its children? I'll talk to your parents about this. You become like those you associate with. You should stay away from trashy people. Lu Cunho said coldly. Slap. A loud slap rang out. Luo Bingning slapped Lu Cunho across the face instantly. Because of the close distance and her martial arts skills, the slap, though not very hard, was so fast that Lu Cunho had no time to dodge. Lu Cunho, watch your mouth. Otherwise, I don't mind beating you into a pig's head. Tomorrow you'll be on the front page, and I'll see where you put your face then. Luo Bingning said without any politeness. Lu Cunho's face flushed red. He couldn't believe that he, a super rich man with billions in assets, had been slapped. Fine, your Luo family just. Wait. Lu Cunho gritted his teeth. Luo Bingning sneered. Lu Cunho, your Lu family only has billions in assets. Are you sure you want to fight our Luo family? If you have such thoughts, then bring it on. Lu Cunho came to cause trouble for Lin Tian, and he even used foul language, calling Lin Tian trash. Luo Bingning couldn't tolerate this. You can make Lin Tian wait for the court summons. Lu Cunho said coldly. Luo Bingning smiled slightly. When you sue Lin Tian, sue me too. Didn't I just hit you? I have surveillance video here. I'll provide the evidence proactively, and I'll also actively compensate you. I'll pay you 100,000 for one slap, okay. Lu Cunho was so angry he felt like vomiting blood. Although he was the one who got beaten up, the news of it getting out will likely affect all his companies. The Luo family is stronger than the Lu family. If word gets out of the Lu family, their partners will definitely panic. If something happens to the Luo family, will they be unable to collect their debts? If everyone is pressing for payment, the Luo family might not be able to afford it. The impact on the stock market will be even greater. The Luo family owns a listed company. If shareholders know the news, they'll definitely vote with their feet. The Luo family's stock could plummet. HMPH. Luo Cunho stormed off. Luo Bingning called Lin Tian again. Lin Tian, Luo Cunho just insulted you, and I slapped him. Lin Tian blinked. His wife is really fierce. Luo Cunho is a multi-billionaire tycoon. He originally said he was going to sue you, but I told him to sue me too, and release the video of the beating. I think he won't dare to sue now. But he might have other methods to target you. Luo Bingning reminded him. Lin Tian smiled. Wife, don't worry, don't you know what kind of person your husband is? I won't let myself be taken advantage of. Luo Bingning smiled sweetly. She was quite pleased that Lin Tian called her wife at this moment. All right, I can't talk to you anymore. I still have a lot of work to finish, so I probably won't be able to go home to cook today. Luo Bingning said. Lin Tian said, I'll come pick you up from get off work, we'll eat out for dinner. Yang is busy, don't invite Tang Yan. Okay. Leaving Luo Bingning's company, Luo Cunho became increasingly angry, but he suppressed it and didn't let the driver notice anything amiss. Half an hour later, Luo Cunho checked into a 5-star hotel, and he checked into the presidential suite. Bastard. Luo Cunho slammed the door shut and cursed. For someone of his status, he hadn't been treated like this in a long time. Ding dong. A few minutes later, the doorbell rang. Luo Cunho opened the door, and there stood his mistress, Zhang Wan. Zhang Wan had secretly moved in here first. He had kept this mistress a secret very well. After all, he was a tycoon with billions in assets. It would be embarrassing to have a mistress exposed. What if his wife wanted a divorce? More importantly, Luo Cunho already knew that Zhang Wan was from Dongjiang country, and that they had a son. What's wrong, Mr. Luo? Zhang Wan asked, closing the door behind her. Don't talk. Luo Cunho picked up Zhang Wan and carried her to the bed, where he vented his anger. Luo Cunho didn't notice that although he was staying in a presidential suite, there was a hidden camera in the room. The camera was pointed at the bed. Tisk. No good, less than 2 minutes. Zhang Wan even said he was so strong. That's really a bit dishonest. Lin Tian muttered to himself. After Luo Bingning called him, he went home and monitored Luo Cunho, wanting to know what Luo Cunho's next plan was. He actually overheard Zhang Wan coming over. He also discovered a hidden camera in the room. Honey, who upset you? Zhang Wan nestled in Luo Cunho's arms. Luo Cunho's face darkened. He was too embarrassed to say it aloud. Being beaten by Luo Bingning would be a huge joke if word got out. Wanner, you're backed by the Zuri United Society, aren't you? Luo Cunho said in a deep voice, I can have deeper cooperation with your Zuri joint company, and I also need your help. Zhang Wan's eyes lit up. She was Luo Cunho's mistress, but Luo Cunho was, after all, a Chinese citizen with considerable wealth. Completely taking him down wouldn't be easy. Lin Tian's eyes also lit up. Luo Cunho was quite cautious. He had found out online that Zhang Wan was a spy, but there was no evidence that Luo Cunho had been infiltrated. Even if he reported Zhang Wan, it wouldn't have much impact on Luo Cunho. With the video now, things were different. The video clearly showed that Luo Cunho knew Zhang Wan's identity, yet he still interacted with her and wanted to deepen their cooperation. Husband, alright, don't explain. I've completely fallen out with the Luo family. They might target me. I need to find a way out. Luo Cunho frowned. Zhang Wan nodded gently. Honey, I am indeed a member of the Zuri joint company, but my feelings for you are genuine. Our child is doing well too. It was 10 p.m. in the blink of an eye. In the capital, Luo Guangjian was still awake. He had slept for 2 hours during the day, but now he was incredibly sleepy. Master Sangji treated me, so I should be fine, right? Dad paid 5 million for his medical expenses. Luo Guangjian thought to himself. Thinking about the 5 million for medical expenses, he felt a pang of pain. He had a good allowance, but his father only gave him 100,000 or 200,000 at a time. He had his eye on a sports car, but he couldn't afford it. His father wanted him to achieve something before he could buy it for him. Sleep until dawn. Luo Guangjian fell asleep anxiously. Half an hour later, Lu Guangjian woke up with a scream. He clutched his right middle finger. It was the first time he'd ever felt pain in his right middle finger. How could this happen? Large beads of sweat appeared on Lu Guangjian's forehead from the pain. He quickly took painkillers, but they weren't very effective. Beep beep. Lu Guangjian dialed Lu Kunhu's number. Dad, Master Sangji's treatment isn't working. I just woke up in pain after only half an hour of sleep. Dad, it hurts so much. Lu Guangjian said, enduring the excruciating pain. Lu Kunhu's face turned grim. 5 million had been spent, and the problem remained unsolved. Wasn't he a complete traitor? However, he dared not confront Master Sangji. Master Sangji might not be able to solve Lu Guangjian's problem, but that didn't mean he couldn't deal with them. Son, still no improvement. Yes, no improvement at all. It still hurts just as much. Lu Guangjian grimaced in pain. Lu Kunho took a deep breath. Just bear with it, it'll be fine in half an hour. Don't go to the hospital, it won't help. Dad will definitely find a solution for you tomorrow. After hanging up, Zhang Wan said, Honey, what trouble are you in? Let me analyze it for you. Okay. Lu Kunho nodded slightly. Zhang Wan was a spy. A professional like her should be quite sensitive to intelligence. Lu Kunho quickly explained the situation in detail. Zhang Wan considered for a moment and said, Honey, I think the problem lies with Lin Tian, or with Luo Bingning. The Luo family has tens of billions in assets domestically, and their overseas assets likely exceed 100 billion. Perhaps they know extraordinary people. Lu Kunho was taken aback. The Luo family has tens of billions in assets overseas. Zhang Wan nodded slightly. Although I can't be sure, it's highly likely the Luo family has 6 to 10 billion US dollars overseas. The Luo family may have participated in the financial attacks against our Dongjiang country, causing us considerable losses. Lu Kunho frowned. Even 6 billion US dollars is a considerable sum. Converted to RMB, that's over 40 billion. If such a massive amount of money were used to target the Lu family, they would struggle to withstand it, suffering significant losses in all aspects. Why didn't you say so before? Lu Kunho rubbed his temples. This problem was even more troubling than his son's. Zhang Wan said, Honey, don't worry too much. It's highly unlikely that the Luo family will transfer this money domestically. The organization has rules. Unless you have deep plans for cooperation, I can't tell you about this. Lu Kunho secretly breathed a sigh of relief. The Luo family wouldn't use this money against him, which would lessen the problem. The Luo family doesn't have much liquid capital domestically. Targeting the Lu family wouldn't be something a small sum of money could accomplish. You just said you suspected Luo Bingning or Lin Tian. Luo Bingning is a rich heiress. Would her father allow her to contact sorcerers? Lu Kunho frowned. Zhang Wan said, Honey, tell me about Lin Tian. Okay. Lu Kunho began to speak. After he finished, Zhang Wan said, Honey, Lin Tian knows your identity. An ordinary person, even if they have Luo Bingning as their girlfriend, shouldn't be this bold. He actually dared to tell you to get lost. That's not right. I suspect that after he and Luo Bingning became a couple, other forces secretly contacted him and began providing support. Lu Kunho pondered. This possibility was indeed not low. Lin Tian used to be quite ordinary, but now he has a high alcohol tolerance and his physique has reached the standard of a first-class athlete. All signs indicate that he has someone backing him. The Luo family's assets of hundreds of billions are worth it for them to do this. Zhang Wan analyzed. Lu Kunho nodded. Your analysis is very accurate. So, to solve the Guangjian problem, I still have to go to him. I'm afraid that's the case. The Master Sangji you found seems to have some skills. He's not just a fraud. It's just that the person who did this is more cunning. I'm a little worried that Lin Tian will target you after your conflict. Zhang Wan's eyes showed concern. Lu Kunhu's face darkened. He was worth billions, his son had been wronged, he had been beaten, and now he had to bow down to Lin Tian. Husband, a true man can bend and stretch. Find out who's behind Lin Tian first, solve this problem, and then dealing with Lin Tian will be a piece of cake. Zhang Wan said. Lu Kunho nodded slightly. Wanner, if we find the bastard behind Lin Tian, can you take care of him? Zhang Wan smiled and nodded. Don't worry, the organization has assassins to handle these kinds of things. Although the methods of sorcerers are somewhat bizarre, Once they find their target, a single bullet will send them to their demise. Speaking of which, Zhang Wan said, "Honey, you should have checked the room, right?" Lu Kunho shook his head. "I was quite angry with them, and you arrived so quickly, I haven't checked yet. After all, it's a presidential suite, guest privacy should be guaranteed, right?" Zhang Wan's expression changed slightly. She quickly got up to check, and soon discovered a hidden camera, pointed directly at the bed. Damn it! Zhang Wan cursed inwardly. As a spy, she could easily tell that this camera wasn't cheap. It had wireless transmission capabilities. Even if she found this, she might not be able to find the storage terminal. "Honey, quickly book all the rooms on our left and downstairs. If anyone's in them, make them leave. We have to find the storage terminal," Zhang Wan said in a low voice. Lu Kunho nodded. The rooms on the left and downstairs were only separated by a wall. The wireless signal could easily have reached them. They were on the top floor, and the rooms on the right were separated by several walls. The rooms on the left and downstairs were occupied, but using his financial power, Lu Kunho quickly got rid of them. Found it. Zhang Wan was quite capable. Half an hour later, she found the storage terminal in the ventilation duct of the downstairs room. The two breathed a sigh of relief. Little did they know, Lin Tian had already copied the data. "Honey, we must check carefully in the future. If our conversation just now were leaked, the consequences would be very, very bad," Zhang Wan warned. Lu Kunho nodded. "I was really angered by Luo Bingning and the others this time. I wonder which bastard put this thing up." Zhang Wan shook her head. "We don't need to know that. We can't expose our relationship and cause any unnecessary trouble." At midnight, Lin Tian finished his cultivation. As a grandmaster at the peak of his cultivation, his power replenished quickly. He had already recovered a third of the internal energy he had used to open Yang phase meridians. "They actually suspect I have a powerful sorcerer behind me," Lin Tian muttered to himself. He dragged the progress bar to watch the copied video. "Huh, they actually detected a camera." Lin Tian raised an eyebrow. This Zhang Wan was quite formidable. "It's so late, it's not good to disturb someone's sleep." Despite saying it was inappropriate, Lin Tian still dialed Fang Hejin's number. Fang Hejin was the head of the third team of the Special Intelligence Division of the S-City National Security Bureau, and Lin Tian was also nominally affiliated with the third team. "Boss Lin, what good business can you be doing calling so late?" Fang Hejin answered the phone after only 2 rings. Although it was midnight, he was still awake. "Team leader, we discovered a spy from Dongjiang country in our country, and they even managed to recruit a billionaire. Does that count?" Lin Tian asked with a smile. Fang Hejin's eyes lit up on the other end of the line. "Yes, of course. Finding a spy like that is a significant achievement. Team leader, give me an email address, and I'll send you the relevant evidence. Don't tell anyone I told you about this. You can decide how to handle it." "Okay." Soon, Lin Tian received a private email address from Fang Hejin, and he sent him a considerable amount of information. These materials included newly acquired video footage, and some previously found information. "Old Fang, why are you working so late at night?" Fang Hejin's wife, still half asleep, entered the study. She froze. The images on Fang Hejin's computer were inappropriate for children. "You, Fang Hejin, instead of sleeping in the middle of the night, you're looking at this kind of stuff. How can you face your mother?" Fang Hejin's wife said angrily. "Stop, stop." Fang Hejin quickly said, "Wife, keep your voice down. Everyone upstairs and downstairs can hear you. I need to do this for work. This is evidence email someone just sent me, it's not what you think." Fang Hejin's wife asked suspiciously, "Really? Really? Of course it's real. I'll show you my email, this is the attachment to the email I just received." Fang Hejin said quickly. Fang Hejin's wife shook her head. "I'll believe you this time. I won't look at your work email. Go to sleep early." After his wife left, Fang Hejin breathed a sigh of relief. He locked the door, put on his headphones, and continued watching. He finished quickly and then overheard Lu Kunho and Zhang Wan's conversation. This Zhang Wan is indeed a spy from Dongjiang. The Zhu-Japan Joint Agency has also been confirmed to be problematic. Fang Hejin thought to himself. Finding spies from other countries was part of Special Intelligence Team 3's work, and they had long suspected the Zhu-Japan Joint Agency. However, they had never had concrete evidence. They had previously found 2 spies from the Zhu Japan Joint Agency, but they died quickly, and they hadn't obtained much intelligence. They couldn't even be sure if those 2 spies were connected to the Zhu Japan Joint Agency. This was probably obtained through hacking. Is Lin Tian a highly skilled hacker, or does he know a master hacker? Fang Hejin muttered to himself. He quickly slapped his forehead. Why was he worrying about this? Lin Tian was their team member, and moreover, he had been specially sent by their superiors. Wouldn't it be normal for Lin Tian to produce something like this? First, secretly arrest Zhang Wan. As for Lu Kunho, he's a big boss after all. Arresting him requires prior notification from above. Fang Hejin thought to himself. Lu Kunho had definitely cooperated with Zhang Wan's actions, but Lin Tian couldn't find any evidence of this online. Controlling Zhang Wan would allow them to find evidence from her. Fang Hejin quickly relayed the order. For safety reasons, Zhang Wan checked into a different hotel, and she didn't stay at the same hotel as Lu Kunho. Several members of Special Operations Team 3 arrived at the hotel. They obtained the room key to Zhang Wan's room. Honey, I'm telling you, I can still drink. If you hadn't stopped me today, I could have drunk them all under the table. The door opened, and one of the Special Operations Team members slurred, drunk, as a woman helped him into the room. Who are you? Zhang Wan woke up and asked warily. What are you doing in our room? We clearly booked this room, and we have the room key. The woman who entered asked suspiciously. Zhang Wan was a little confused. What was going on? Just then, the 2 people who had entered the room moved. They pounced on Zhang Wan, and her expression changed. She immediately prepared to fight back. Buzz. The man had concealed a stun gun in his hand. At point-blank range, the stun gun struck Zhang Wan, and her body went numb. She quickly lost consciousness. 2 members of Special Operations Team 3 entered the room. There's something wrong with her tooth. Be careful. The men pulled out one of Zhang Wan's teeth. The tooth contained poison. Biting it hard would kill her within seconds. You all go out first, I'll give her a full checkup. The female member of the group said. The checkup results came back shortly after. Zhang Wan didn't have any other dangerous items on her. Who are you? Zhang Wan woke up soon after, her expression changing. Zhang Wan, you are suspected of espionage. Please come with us. Zhang Wan immediately bit down hard on one of her teeth. Ah, she cried out in pain. There were no teeth left there, and she bit down hard on her soft gums, drawing blood. Gag her. Put a hood over her head. The squad leader ordered. Soon, Zhang Wan's mouth was taped shut, a black hood was placed over her head, and she was taken from the hotel that very night. That night, neither Lu Kunho nor his son slept well. Fang Hejin didn't sleep either. He personally interrogated Zhang Wan through the night. At first, Zhang Wan said nothing. But foreign spies are not ordinary criminals, and Fang Hejin and his team are not ordinary police officers. They are skilled in memory recovery techniques. Using multiple memory recovery techniques, Zhang Wan confessed everything. Fang Hejin, the arrest warrant has been issued. Don't make too much of a fuss. Fang Hejin received a phone call. Yes. Fang Hejin replied solemnly. After hanging up, he quickly dialed another number. There were 3 groups of people near Lu Kunho's hotel. Knock knock. Soon after, they knocked on Lu Kunho's door. Lu Kunho opened the door, puzzled. The people from Special Operations Group 3 outside weren't wearing police uniforms, so he couldn't tell them apart. We are from the National Security Bureau. This is my identification. We need your cooperation on some matters. Please come with us. One of the men outside flashed his identification. Lu Kunho's expression changed. Gentlemen, are you mistaken? I'm a businessman, a billionaire entrepreneur. Please come with us. If you don't comply, we might use force. Lu Kunho's face darkened further. He knew the National Security Bureau must already have evidence. I'll go with you, but I need to find a lawyer. I won't answer any of your questions until he arrives. Whether you find a lawyer or not is your choice. Come with us first. Lu Kunho was quickly taken away. Fang Hejin and his team had already learned from Zhang Wan that Lu Kunho had cooperated with her in numerous operations. Those operations caused significant losses to the country. This time, with his arrest, Lu Kunho would face 7 or 8 years in prison. Beep beep. Lin Tian received a call from Fang Hejin. Team leader, what's the situation? Lin Tian answered the phone and asked. Fang Hejin laughed. Lin Tian, Lu Cunho and Zhang Wan have been captured. They will definitely receive their due punishment. This is quite a contribution. Are you sure you won't get credit for it? Lin Tian smiled. Team leader, no need. This matter has nothing to do with me. Please don't mention me. Lin Tian, hurry up and wash up, I'll make breakfast. Lin Tian came out of the room, and Luo Bingning smiled. Okay. Lin Tian quickly finished washing up and sat down at the dining table. A black iron treasure chest was actually above Luo Bingning's head. Bingning, are you worried about Lu Cunho? Lin Tian asked. He hadn't flirted with Luo Bingning yesterday, yet she had a black iron treasure chest above her head. She was probably worried about that. Luo Bingning nodded. Lu Cunho might reveal that you told him to get lost, which could affect your reputation. I called Dad this morning, and he said he would put pressure on the Lu family. Lin Tian was a triple grandmaster. His reputation was excellent, and Luo Bingning didn't want Lu Cunho to tarnish it. Lin Tian smiled. Lu Cunho doesn't have time for that anymore, he's already been arrested for colluding with foreign spies. Huh. Luo Bingning stared blankly at Lin Tian. Didn't I have a nominal position with the National Security Bureau? It's our Special Operations Team 3 who's handling this. Luo Bingning looked at Lin Tian with some suspicion. Could Lu Cunho's incident be related to Lin Tian? Otherwise, how could he have been arrested today after his attitude yesterday? Really arrested? Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian nodded. Don't tell anyone. It was a secret arrest, not publicly announced yet. It wouldn't be good if word got out. Okay. Luo Bingning nodded. Lin Tian, you have to be careful at the youth martial arts tournament today. There might be a grandmaster from Dongyian Kingdom. Luo Bingning cautioned. She only knew Lin Tian was a grandmaster, not that he was a martial arts grandmaster. Don't worry, wife. I reckon that grandmaster from Dongyian Kingdom is probably no match for me. Really? Luo Bingning's eyes lit up. Lin Tian laughed. Of course it's true. It's fine if he doesn't cause me trouble, but if he does, he's dead meat. Luo Bingning said. Lin Tian, you might have to intervene. If you do, won't your identity be exposed? Won't your parents be in trouble? Lin Tian chuckled. I asked General Yang for about 10 veterans. They should be here in the next couple of days. That's good. Luo Bingning breathed a sigh of relief. After dinner, Luo Bingning went to work. Lin Tian arrived at a nearby hotel. Yang Fei was staying at this hotel and quickly got into Lin Tian's car. Those Koreans are just as annoying as the people from Japan. They actually said that our Chinese martial arts originated from Korea. They even said that if we win this time, they'll apply for UNESCO World Heritage status. Yang Fei said angrily. Lin Tian asked in surprise, when did they say that? Yang Fei replied, just now. They were outside the stadium, saying it in front of many reporters. Brother Lin, you'll see when you watch the video. Those guys are very arrogant, I bet some of them are experts this time. Lin Tian smiled faintly. That's their usual practice. They didn't make it public before because the competition was held privately. That's true. Their land area is so small, yet they have such big mouths. Yang Fei retorted. Lin Tian said, Yang, I'm not entirely clear on the rules of the youth martial arts tournament. Could you explain them to me? Yang Fei nodded. It's always been a private competition, so there aren't many rules. There are 10 martial arts tokens in total. 2 people go up, and the winner gets 1 token. Once all 10 tokens are claimed, the remaining participants can challenge those who possess tokens to win more. When no one challenges anymore, the country with the most tokens wins. Lin Tian asked in surprise, that's it? Isn't there a winner? Yang Fei said, that's the standard arrangement. Actually, after this competition, there will be duels if anyone is still unconvinced. The standard arrangement prohibits intentionally killing. For duels outside the standard arrangement, all participants must sign a death waiver. In recent years, 2 people have died, one from China and one from East Asia. There are injuries every year. Yang Fei's expression turned somber as he finished speaking. Lin Tian asked, what are our chances of winning in a regular game? Yang Fei frowned slightly. If they don't unite against China, we should be able to win. After all, we have a population advantage. The first difficulty is when they unite against us. Lin Tian glanced at Yang Fei. Yang Fei sighed softly, our population is much larger than theirs combined, but there were some special reasons in the past. My dad said the country will pay more attention to this in the future. Lin Tian nodded slightly. Half an hour later, Lin Tian and his group arrived at the S-City Stadium. A large crowd had gathered outside the stadium. Most of them didn't have tickets and couldn't enter. A ticket that allowed entry had already been resold for tens of thousands of yuan. Squeak. Just as Lin Tian and his group arrived at the entrance, the East Sakura team came over, their cars stopping directly in front of the stadium. Fujiwara Ueno and his group of about 20 people got out of several cars. The Ouyang family, Ouyang Fei. Fujiwara Ueno looked at Ouyang Fei. Ouyang Fei snorted coldly. Ouyang Fei, is your brother's injury healed? Fujiwara Ueno laughed, a look of disdain in his eyes. Compared to your brother, your talent is far inferior. With that, Fujiwara Ueno and his group arrogantly entered the gymnasium. Ouyang Fei clenched his fists. Ouyang, you have an older brother. Ouyang Fei took a deep breath. Yes, I have an older brother. 5 years ago, he was at the mid-stage of the Dark Force realm. He had both legs broken in the duel, comminuted fractures. He was targeted by a group, otherwise he definitely would have won. Lin Tian asked, and what about your brother's legs now? Ouyang Fei said hoarsely, comminuted fractures can't be fully healed in the hospital. Now he can only rely on a wheelchair. Fujiwara Ueno is right. My brother's talent is better than mine. He was only 21 years old when he participated. Lin Tian said, when I go to the capital in a while, I'll visit your family. Ouyang Fei looked at Lin Tian with delight. However, his expression quickly darkened. Even if Lin Tian was a martial arts grandmaster, his brother's legs had been crippled for 5 years. He feared Lin Tian was powerless to help. Ouyang Fei didn't know that Lin Tian was a grandmaster of martial arts, and also a top-tier master in ancient medicine. Brother Fei. Ouyang, what's your strength now? Soon, Lin Tian and his group arrived at the stadium. Many martial arts practitioners from China were already there, and they greeted them warmly. Everyone, let me introduce you. This is my brother Lin. He's my boss. He speaks both Japanese and Korean. If a regular translator can't translate something, just ask my brother Lin, he'll definitely be able to translate. Ouyang Fei introduced Lin Tian to everyone. Hello, brother Lin. Brother Lin. The Ouyang family had some influence, and several people greeted him immediately. Lin Tian smiled. Hello, my name is Lin Tian. Ouyang and I are roommates, you can just call me by my name. One of them said, your Lin surname has recently produced a remarkable person. The masked hero, Grandmaster Lin, he's a triple grandmaster. And he's also a martial arts master. Ouyang Fei paused, looking at Lin Tian with suspicion. He now knew Lin Tian was a martial arts grandmaster, but he didn't know Lin Tian's identity as the masked hero. Is brother Lin some kind of masked knight? Ouyang Fei wondered to himself. S-City Gymnasium, 9 a.m. sharp. Martial artists from China, South Korea, and Japan had arrived, as had the 1,000 spectators inside the gymnasium. Luo Bingning mingled in the crowd. She wore a mask and a baseball cap, completely concealing her identity. Lin Tian was here, and her best friend Tang Yan was also here. At a time like this, she had no intention of obediently going to work. Good morning, everyone. The annual Youth Martial Arts Tournament of China, South Korea, and Japan is now beginning. Welcome everyone. The rules of the Youth Martial Arts Tournament are as follows. The speaker was a middle-aged man in his 30s or 40s, also a martial artist, possessing the cultivation level of Dark Force. In the Dharma ending age, reaching the Dark Force level was already very impressive. 99% of martial artists couldn't even reach the level of Open Force. The later duels even require signing death contracts. Don't even mention the later duels, the earlier ones will be fierce too. This concerns national honor. This time it'll probably be even more intense than before. In the past, the results only circulated within the martial arts circle, but this time everyone will know the outcome. Many people around the basketball court were discussing this. Lin Tian looked at Luo Bingning. At first, he hadn't noticed Luo Bingning, but her gaze had fallen on him several times. Seeing Lin Tian looking at her, Luo Bingning hurriedly turned her head. Bingning actually came. Lin Tian muttered to himself. Luo Bingning was wearing a mask and a hat, but how could Lin Tian not recognize her eyes? Ding! Luo Bingning received a text message. Wife, Skipped work to come see the excitement, get a spanking when you get home. Luo Bingning looked at the text message, then sent Lin Tian a rolling eye emoji and a head-knocking emoji. Hello, filming is strictly prohibited throughout today's competition. Please turn off your phones or put them on silent mode. Someone approached Luo Bingning and reminded her. I just wanted to check a message. Luo Bingning quickly put her phone away. The competition might involve some brutal scenes, and considering the potential negative impact, all photography and videography are prohibited. Everyone, without further ado, let's begin. Next, we'll compete for the first martial token. The host, Zhang Yi, immediately sent 2 people in, one from China and one from Japan. Both were only at the Mingjin level. The initial competition usually involves Mingjin level martial artists, and all 3 sides had quite a few Mingjin level martial artists present. They needed a chance to exchange ideas and showcase their skills. China, Zhang Haoyang. Japan, Yamamoto Ryuya. The 2 introduced themselves, speaking Chinese and Japanese respectively, with interpreters providing real-time translation. It wasn't a diplomatic occasion, so the accuracy of the translation wasn't important. Just do it. Hiss, they're both using weapons now. I wonder who'll win. The onlookers stared wide-eyed. Zhang Haoyang drew his sword, while Yamamoto Yoshida used a katana. Both brought their own weapons. This was an unrestricted duel. Aside from hidden weapons, all conventional weapons like swords and sabers were allowed. Bang! The 2 quickly clashed, their swords gleaming coldly as they collided, producing a piercing metallic clang. Driven by national hatred, the 2 men showed no mercy from the start, their swords and knives lashing out fiercely at each other. So fast. Swords have no eyes, the loser is likely to be injured. Some whispered among themselves. Most of the crowd held their breath, watching intently. This kind of duel was far more exciting than Olympic fencing. Both were much faster, and neither wore protective gear. Sparks flew frequently from their clashing swords. Suddenly, Zhang Haoyang created an opening. Take this. Yamamoto Yoshida's katana slashed towards Zhang Haoyang's wrist. If this strike landed, Zhang Haoyang's hand would be severed. Ah! Many cried out in alarm. Good. Zhang Haoyang was secretly delighted. He had anticipated Yamamoto Yoshida's attack, and his longsword swiftly thrust towards Yamamoto Yoshida's neck. Bang! Zhang Haoyang's sword was deflected by a small pebble. The one who made the move was a martial arts master from Dongjiang Kingdom. In a typical martial arts match, a martial arts master would be present to watch over both sides. If one side was certain to die, the master would intervene to save them. The one saved would be considered the loser. Because a martial arts master was watching, in a typical match, broken limbs were possible, but death was almost impossible. I lost. Yamamoto Yoshida said, his face dark. Zhang Haoyang happily accepted the first martial arts token. That was close. Their speed and strength were much greater than ordinary people, but not exceptionally powerful. I heard that the martial artists who went up at the beginning were only at the Mingjin level. The Injin level martial artists are much stronger. Many people discussed among themselves, then breathed a long sigh of relief. Everyone, next up is the competition for the second martial arts token. Zhang Yi announced loudly. Half an hour later, all 10 martial arts tokens had been distributed. China received 4. Both Japan and South Korea are divided into 3 groups. Yang Fei whispered, Brother Lin, this is roughly the normal strength comparison of the martial artists from our 3 countries. We're slightly stronger, but not by much. If the other 2 sides joined forces, we're likely to suffer. Lin Tian nodded slightly. As a grandmaster of martial arts, he could roughly judge the strength of the martial artists from all 3 sides. The situation was similar to what Yang Fei described. However, there were exceptions. In Japan, Fujiwara Ueno was at the late stage of Dark Force. If he hadn't raised Yang Fei to the late stage of Dark Force, Fujiwara Ueno would likely be the strongest. South Korea made a lot of noise, but their strongest was actually only at the mid-stage of Dark Force. In a normal year, this level of strength would be enough to contend for first place, but this year there were 2 anomalies. The warm-up matches were already so dangerous, the ones coming up will definitely be even more perilous. Groups 4, 6, and 9 all have people seriously injured. Many people whispered among themselves, shocked. Lin Tian looked towards Luo Bingning. The black iron treasure chest above Luo Bingning's head had turned into a bronze treasure chest. Such a reward, not bad, not bad. Lin Tian muttered to himself. The scene would be quite bloody, so Luo Bingning hadn't mentioned coming, and he naturally hadn't planned to bring her. But Luo Bingning had come quietly. He estimated that even if he didn't get a gold treasure chest after the competition, getting a silver one wouldn't be a problem. Everyone, now we'll move on to the challenge round. Those holding a martial token may transfer it to other martial artists of their own country. Each token can only be transferred once. Zhang Yi announced loudly. Zhang Haoyang and the others happily handed over their martial tokens. Their performance time was over. Brother Lin, the warm-up is over. Now comes the main course. Yang Fei said, his eyes gleaming. He held a martial token in his hand. Someone was injured and bleeding during the warm-up match. The official competition would be much more intense. Broken arms and legs were possible. Death was also a possibility. In a fight between martial artists at the Dark Force level, life and death could hang by a thread, and even a martial arts master nearby might not be able to provide timely assistance. I challenge Song Shang of China. We both use swords. I'll show you that Chinese martial arts are far inferior to our Korean martial arts. We are the true masters. A young man from Korea provocatively declared in Mandarin. Song Shang received a martial arts token, but he only possessed the cultivation of the early stage of Dark Force, and his strength wasn't particularly impressive. Yang Fei received the token not because he ranked in the top 4, but because everyone considered his strength average. Yang Fei rarely fought, and few knew that he had already reached the mid-stage of Dark Force. Now, with Lin Tian's help, he had reached the late stage of Dark Force. Martial arts masters from Japan and Korea came, but martial arts masters couldn't easily judge someone's cultivation level. Even grandmasters couldn't judge from a distance. Arrogant. Song Shang sneered and entered the dueling arena. Whoosh! The two simultaneously drew their swords and attacked each other. Their cultivation levels were the same, and at first, Lin Tian couldn't determine their strength. The outcome of a battle depends on cultivation level, martial arts skills, and adaptability during combat. They're so fast. Their fighting is much more intense than before. Thousands of spectators watched intently. 2 minutes passed, and Song Shang grew anxious. His opponent seemed intent on deliberately depleting his internal energy and stamina. The combined martial artists from South Korea and Japan outnumbered theirs. This method of attrition would definitely put China at a disadvantage. Kill. Suddenly, Song Shang noticed an opening in his opponent's defenses. Without time to think, he launched a swift attack. His opponent's gloved left hand grabbed Song Zhang's sword, then thrust it towards Song Zhang's chest. Thud. Song Shang could only manage to block with his left palm. The sharp sword instantly pierced his left hand. We surrender. Song Zhang's father was present, and he shouted immediately. Ah! Many spectators gasped in surprise. The Korean youth drew his sword. Song Zhang's left hand was bleeding profusely, while the Korean youth's left hand was unharmed. His gloves were no ordinary gloves, the sword tip might pierce through. But the blade couldn't cut through them. Leave the martial token. You're truly pathetic. You were easily defeated by me in just 2 minutes. The Korean youth mocked. Song Zhang's face darkened. He tossed out the martial token and left the dueling area without a word. A doctor immediately rushed to treat him. A pierced hand wasn't a major injury. Martial arts masters nearby could help seal acupoints to stop the bleeding, and the doctor could quickly treat his wound. Damn it! Yang Fei's face was grim. He and Song Shang had a good relationship, they had sparred privately. At that time, Yang Fei was only at the early stage of Dark Force cultivation. The Yang family was stronger, Yang Fei had more resources, and he worked very hard, reaching the mid-stage of inner strength. Are Chinese martial artists so easily defeated? Then I'll challenge a Chinese martial artist too. And that beauty, let's have some fun. I love playing with beautiful women. The Korean youth stepped down, and a young man from Japan stepped forward. His challenge was none other than Tang Yan. Tang Yan was at the early stage of inner strength. She had a martial arts token. Her main purpose was to deplete her opponent's strength. The 3 individuals who initially received the martial arts tokens weren't particularly strong. None of them were considered top contenders. Yanzi. Luo Bingning's expression changed. Things were alright at first, but Song Zhang's hand being pierced made Luo Bingning clearly understand how brutal such a competition was. A single mistake could lead to injury or even death. Lin Tian also looked at Tang Yan. Tang Yan walked solemnly onto the arena. Her weapon was a sword, while her opponent's weapon was a knife. China, Tang Yan. Eastern Japan, Watanabe Suru. The two announced their names, one in Chinese and the other in Japanese. Translators were immediately available to translate for Tang Yan. Liang Fei said worriedly, "Brother Lin, that violent woman is only at the early stage of dark force, I'm afraid she'll have a hard time winning." I wanted to tell her not to participate, but she insisted. The two quickly began fighting in the dueling area. Tang Yan knew she might be inferior to her opponent. She carefully defended, determined to wear down her opponent's strength. Her opponent was only at the early stage of inner strength, and Tang Yan was defending with all her might. It wouldn't be easy for her to defeat her for the time being. "Beautiful lady, your legs are so white and your waist is so slender, tisk tisk. It would be a waste if I cut you down later. Why don't you come back to Dongyiang Kingdom with me? I'll treat you to some giant sausages." Realizing he couldn't defeat Tang Yan quickly, Watanabe Suru began a verbal attack, trying to make Tang Yan lose her temper. Tang Yan's translator was a girl, and she seemed a little flustered. Lin Tian stepped forward and said, "Let me translate. I'm a translator, I'm really good at it." "Okay." Lin Tian smiled and said, "Tang Yan, the other guy is praising you. He said his parents are dead, and his girlfriend sold herself to earn money for his travel expenses to come here. He hopes you can go easy on him." The translator, although he was completely bewildered, he still translated truthfully. Watanabe Suru's anger flared, and he unleashed another torrent of curses. Lin Tian chuckled, "Tang Yan, Watanabe Suru says you're younger and stronger than him, and he wants to become your disciple. But you absolutely mustn't accept him. He's too ugly. You'll be too ashamed to face anyone with a disciple like that." Some of those present who understood Japanese looked on with strange expressions. Was that really what he meant? Lin Tian's translation was truly accurate. Damn it. Watanabe Suru's translation faithfully conveyed Lin Tian's words, making him even more furious. He couldn't help but glance at Lin Tian. An opportunity. Tang Yan's eyes lit up. She made a startling decision. The sword in her hand flew from her grasp and thrust towards Watanabe Suru. PFF'd. Watanabe Suru only looked at Lin Tian after creating a slight distance. He thought he was safe, but Tang Yan pulled this stunt. Tang Yan's sword pierced his left shoulder. Because it was a hasty attack, the sword didn't pierce through Watanabe Suru's left shoulder, but it penetrated about 2 inches. "We concede." Someone from the Eastern Sakura Kingdom immediately said. Tang Yan was out of swords, but she could dodge. With her strength, she could definitely hold out for a while longer. If the fight continued, Watanabe Suru would bleed profusely. "Damn it, you cheated." He translated incorrectly. Watanabe Suru angrily pointed at Lin Tian. Lin Tian looked innocent. Wrong translation. Sorry, my skills aren't good enough to translate it like this." PFF'd. In the audience, Luo Bingning burst out laughing. She knew Lin Tian was fluent in 9 languages, he was doing it on purpose. Haha, this guy's translation is really good. Listening to his translation, I almost doubted I majored in a foreign language. I think his translation is very good, very accurate, hee. Many Chinese in the audience laughed, while many Japanese exchange students glared at Lin Tian. "Lin Tian, thanks." Tang Yan retreated. If it weren't for Lin Tian's help, she knew her chances of winning were low, and inflicting such an injury on her opponent was even more impossible. "Is this the only underhanded tactic you Chinese people know?" A young man from South Korea entered. He was at the mid-stage of the inner strength realm and wielded a long spear. "You, come up here. If you can withstand 10 of my moves, you win. I won't participate in the rest of this competition. If you can't withstand them, you can kowtow to me, or say that Chinese martial arts are inferior to our Korean martial arts." The Korean youth pointed his spear at Liang Fei. Liang Fei was overjoyed. A challenge. What a stroke of luck. He accepted the challenge hoping to trick someone, yet someone dared to challenge him so arrogantly. Songshang was already furious after his hand was pierced. This challenger seemed even more arrogant than Song Jiang's opponent. "Brother Lin, can you translate for me?" What did he say? Liang Fei stepped forward and asked. He knew the other party was challenging him, but he didn't understand the specifics of what the other party said in Korean. Lin Tian translated it into Korean. This time, he didn't translate carelessly. A Korean translator who was about to step forward looked surprised. Lin Tian's translation was very accurate. Damn it, he thinks he can win in 10 moves. He wants me to kowtow. Yang Fei was furious after hearing Lin Tian's translation. Brother Lin, tell him that making me kowtow is impossible, and saying that Chinese martial arts are inferior to Korean martial arts is even more impossible. If he can beat me in 10 moves, I'll cut off my left hand. If he can't beat me, he can kneel down and say that Korean martial arts are inferior to Chinese martial arts. Yang Fei glared at his opponent. Lin Tian glanced at Yang Fei. Goodness, very cautious. Even with his late-stage internal energy cultivation, he still agreed to the 10-move limit. If I can't beat you in 10 moves, I'll also cut off one of my hands. After hearing the translator's words, the young man from Korea who was challenging him sneered. Being put on hold, he couldn't back down. He also couldn't agree to kneel down and say that Korean martial arts were inferior to Chinese martial arts if he lost. Even if he ultimately won, he would still be cursed. Hiss, no matter who loses, someone will lose a hand. Isn't that a bit too bloody? This is real martial arts, not child's play. Real martial arts are inherently killing techniques. Many people whispered among themselves, while many more remained silent, their eyes fixed on Yang Fei and his companion. Yang Fei entered the dueling area. His eyes flashed with a cold light. China, Yang Fei. South Korea, Kim In-jun. The two exchanged names, no translation was needed. Kill. Kim In-jun believed himself to be stronger, but he still attacked first, his spear hurtling towards Yang Fei at lightning speed. 3 meters, 2 meters, 1 meter. The distance rapidly closed, and Yang Fei still didn't react. Kim In-jun felt confident, he thought he had it in the bag. Just when the distance was only half a meter, Yang Fei suddenly spun around, dodging the sharp spear. At the same time, his sword slashed towards Kim In-jun's left hand with incredible speed. Not good. Kim In-jun was terrified. He tried to dodge, but his previous attack had been too forceful. This strike left him no room to evade. Moreover, Yang Fei's speed was too fast. PFF'd. Blood splattered as Yang Fei severed Jin Runjun's left hand. He screamed in agony, clutching his left wrist with his right hand. Ah! Many people gasped in shock. Song Jiang's hand was pierced by the sword, but at least it wasn't severed. Jin Runjun's hand was cleanly severed at the wrist, blood gushing out. Yang Fei flicked the blood from the tip of his sword. He said in surprise, with this kind of strength, you're so arrogant. I thought you were already a martial arts master. Jin Runjun's face turned pale. He clutched his wrist, but blood still flowed. You're shameless. Your cultivation is higher than mine, yet you let me win in 10 moves. Jin Runjun roared angrily. If he had known Yang Fei was stronger, he would have been more cautious, and he wouldn't have been defeated so easily. The difference between the mid-stage and late-stage dark force isn't that significant. Jin Runjun's translator quickly translated. Yang Fei said calmly, how was I supposed to know you were so arrogant despite your weak strength? Pointing your spear at me, demanding I kneel, and even wanting me to say that Chinese martial arts are inferior to your Korean martial arts. Do you admit defeat? If you do, you'll cut off one of your hands. Otherwise, let's continue. After Yang Fei finished speaking, many people looked at Lin Tian, including Jin Runjun. Lin Tian began to translate haltingly. Many people had strange expressions. Why were you translating so slowly now? Jin Runjun's translator quickly translated. My hand is already broken. Jin Runjun roared. Yang Fei frowned and said, your left hand was broken during the fight. Our bet is to cut off one of your hands. Jin Runjun was dumbfounded. If he lost another hand, both of his hands would be gone. Although current medical technology allows for hand reattachment, losing his right hand would essentially end his martial arts career. If you don't want to cut off your own hand, you can kneel down and kowtow, and I, being a magnanimous person, will let you off. Yang Fei said coldly. Jin Runjun was in so much pain that cold sweat poured down his forehead. Losing another hand would ruin his future in martial arts, something he couldn't accept. Bang! He knelt down and quickly kowtowed. I'll remember this grudge. Kim In-jun gritted his teeth and said. After speaking, he hurriedly left the dueling area. The other Koreans had already picked up his severed hand for him. Yang Fei. Fujiwara Ueno's expression was grave. Judging from Yang Fei's speed, he estimated that Yang Fei, like himself, had reached the late stage of the Dark Force realm. Wano, it seems your main opponent this year has appeared. You must defeat him, and preferably severely injure him, a middle-aged man beside Fujiwara Wano said in a deep voice. Yes, father. Although Yang Fei is quite strong, I believe I can definitely win. I will bring glory to the family. Fujiwara Wano said confidently. Fujiwara Wano's father nodded slightly. Yang, when did you reach the late stage of the Dark Force realm? Impressive. Brother Fei is awesome. Yang Fei left the dueling area, and some people from China said excitedly. Yang Fei had defeated a powerful opponent. Be careful. My strength has been exposed. They probably won't challenge me again. If you can't beat me, just admit defeat quickly. Yang Fei said. He had a martial token, only others could challenge him, he couldn't challenge others. Each person could only obtain one martial token. The duel continued. Many people watched with bated breath, including Luo Bingning. Not long after, the bronze treasure chest above Luo Bingning's head changed again, transforming into a silver treasure chest. 2 hours later, the regular martial arts competition finally ended. More people from all three sides were injured. In the end, China obtained 4 martial arts tokens, Japan also obtained 4, and South Korea only obtained 2 this year. Gentlemen, the regular martial arts competition is over. What follows is a duel with a death warrant, which will be even more brutal and bloody. Those who cannot accept this should leave. Zhang Yi said, holding the microphone. A small portion of the participants, those with weaker constitutions, silently rose and left. This kind of competition was far too brutal. But for martial artists, this was normal. A severed hand or foot can be reattached. That's not considered a serious injury. If you can't even handle this, what's the point of practicing martial arts? It's over already. What was the result of the competition? A large crowd had gathered outside the stadium, many asking questions. Someone who had been holding back vomiting finally couldn't hold it in any longer and vomited in a corner. This person's vomiting immediately triggered a chain reaction of vomiting from the others. Holy crap, what's going on? Many people outside were stunned. One of the boys, who hadn't vomited yet, said, some people had their hands pierced, some had their hands chopped off, and others had long knife and sword wounds. It was quite a horrific scene. The results of the competition are in. Our country, China, and Japan each received 4 martial arts tokens, and South Korea received 2. Next up are even more brutal duels, the kind where you sign a death warrant. People might die. At this, the boy also covered his mouth and ran to a corner. The news spread quickly online. I always thought martial arts were just fancy moves, but I never imagined real martial arts could be so bloody and brutal. Since there will be such casualties, why even hold it? Soldiers have their mission, and martial artists have theirs. If we don't dare to draw our swords, more people will die. The news quickly became a trending topic on Weibo, sparking much discussion, though public opinion remained largely under control. In the S-City Gymnasium, Zhang Yi took out a stack of papers. Everyone, this is a life or death contract. That is, a death pact. Those who have agreed to a duel can come and sign this life or death contract. Even if you die in the duel, you are responsible for your own life and death. Zhang Yi said solemnly. The relationship between the 3 countries was never good to begin with. Years of exchange had resulted in numerous casualties and created considerable enmity. Every year, some people would sign a life or death contract. Of course, this wasn't a matter of determining both skill and life or death. If one side conceded, the other was not allowed to continue attacking. Unlike previous sparring matches, there would be no one to protect them, and both sides would fight much more ruthlessly. Nakamura Jiro, shall we have a duel to the death? Yang Fei's icy gaze fell upon the man from Dongyan Kingdom. I won't duel you. I'm not stupid. You want revenge for your brother. You won't have that chance. Nakamura Jiro spoke broken Mandarin. Your courage is far inferior to your brother's. Yang Fei mocked. Nakamura Jiro's older brother, Nakamura Taro, was also present. Years ago, he was the one who crippled Yang Fei's brother's legs. Nakamura Jiro grinned, your brother's strength is also far inferior to mine. No, your brother is now a cripple, unable to even stand. Yang Fei clenched his fists. Lin Tian, standing nearby, said, Yang, don't be angry. I can take on both of those trash by myself. He deliberately spoke softly. But martial artists have sharper hearing, and both Nakamura Taro and Nakamura Jiro heard it. Kid, what did you say? You said one person can beat both me and my brother. You're insulting us, insulting our Bushido spirit. You must kneel down and apologize to us. Nakamura Jiro glared fiercely at Lin Tian. They had long wanted to kill Lin Tian, their sixth brother and translator. Lin Tian glanced at Nakamura Jiro and Nakamura Taro. My mouth is my own, I can say whatever I want. Yang Fei understood Lin Tian's plan. Lin Tian wanted to avenge his brother himself. Brother Lin, let it go. You're too strong. If you take action, it'll be bullying them. Spare their lives. Yang Fei said, pulling Lin Tian away. Halt. Nakamura Taro's gaze fell on Lin Tian. Duel doesn't have many restrictions, both parties agree. If you agree to the duel, you can choose to surrender later. If you don't agree, you'll have to crawl between my legs. Nakamura Taro spread his legs as he spoke. Nakamura Jiro chuckled maliciously, you'll have to crawl between my legs too. Yang Fei said with a grim face, Nakamura Taro, you've gone too far. Brother Lin was just translating today. Nakamura Taro sneered, he insulted our Bushido spirit, he must pay the price. Don't you Chinese have any guts? Lin Tian said calmly, do you know why Yang calls me Brother Lin? Because I'm stronger than him. 1 against 2. Easy peasy. Lin Tian picked up a life or death contract and quickly wrote his name on it. Nakamura Taro was somewhat suspicious. Was Lin Tian really that powerful? But he was several years older than Lin Tian. 2 against 1, could they really be defeated by Lin Tian? Swish, swish. Nakamura Taro and Nakamura Jiro quickly signed their names and pressed their fingerprints on the same life or death contract. Luo Bingning, who had been sitting in the back, moved to the front after many people left and heard what Lin Tian and the others were saying. Her fists clenched, her expression quite tense. She knew Lin Tian was a martial arts master, but he had never fought anyone before. Would he lack practical experience? 2 against 1 might also be dangerous. Luo Bingning has severely underestimated the strength of a grandmaster. Even without any combat experience, a grandmaster-level martial artist could stand there and let you slash them with a knife. Even a person at the inner strength level wouldn't be able to harm a grandmaster in the slightest. Besides, Lin Tian actually has combat experience. He improved by opening treasure chests, not only his cultivation level but also his martial arts skills. He's proficient in all kinds of weapons. You two are finished. You can still back out now, but if you do, you'll have to kowtow to me and Yang. Lin Tian said calmly. He exuded the air of a master. This situation made Nakamura Taro a little uneasy, and he pulled Nakamura Jiro away. Brother, quickly find out who this guy is. Nakamura Taro said in a deep voice. Okay. Nakamura Jiro was good with computers, he knew Lin Tian's name and that Lin Tian and Yang Fei were close. It didn't take long for Nakamura Jiro to find out. Brother, look, he's Yang Fei's roommate, a bit older than Yang Fei. The records show his parents are ordinary farmers. This guy is just trying to scare us, hoping we won't attack immediately so he has time to give up. Nakamura Jiro sneered. Nakamura Taro breathed a sigh of relief. Then we'll attack immediately, don't give him a chance to surrender. We'll each cut off one of his legs. Start from the kneecap. Nakamura Jiro nodded. Lin Tian's eyes narrowed slightly. Nakamura Taro and the others spoke softly, but as a martial arts grandmaster, he heard them clearly. Sever it at the kneecap. Then so be it. Lin Tian muttered to himself. Yang Fei's brothers' kneecaps were crippled. 10 minutes passed, and a dozen people had signed the life or death contract. Yang Fei and Fujiwara Ueno faced off. Including him, China had a total of 7 participants, while Japan and South Korea had a combined total of 8. Neither Japan nor South Korea had a single life or death match. Damn, this is so obviously targeting China. I heard it's been like this for the past few years. The others are alright, but that translator named Lin Tian, he's just an ordinary person, yet he's involved. Many people were discussing this animatedly. Zhang Yi took a deep breath. Gentlemen, the life or death matches of the Youth Martial Arts Tournament are about to begin. Those who wish to withdraw, hurry up. The order of the matches will be determined by drawing lots. The draw was over quickly. Lin Tian drew his turn, and surprisingly, he got the last match. Liang Fei was in the penultimate match. Liang, we still have a long way to go. Come on, let's go to the restroom. Lin Tian gestured for Liang Fei to leave. After they were a little further away, Lin Tian placed his hand on Liang Fei's shoulder, and a considerable amount of internal energy entered Liang Fei's body. Liang Fei stared blankly at Lin Tian. Hurry up and refine it. Your internal energy already contains some of mine, so refining it will be easy. You and Fujiwara Ueno both used up a lot of energy earlier. Replenish it so you can outlast him later. Liang Fei nodded. When Lin Tian and the others returned, the first match was over. China had lost to a young man from South Korea. Both were seriously injured. Lin Tian walked towards Luo Bingning. After watching the first show, Luo Bingning became even more nervous.